you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay, Big E, no nerd today. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Mike, I'm well. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, on this fine morning.
Indeed.
What you got there? Are you having a Red Bull to start?
Yeah. I find I've had enough coffee, and what I've found, and I don't know if this is like if this happens to other people, but when you drink too much coffee, it actually tires you out. Is that weird? How is that possible?
Yeah.
Dude, I've been meaning to Google that. It's got to be psychological, because like it's the warmth of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brings me down. I just need like something on ice at this point. Wake me up. Little Red Bull.
Yeah, it works. I haven't noticed that about coffee, but I haven't noticed coffee wakes me up either. I feel like I need it in the morning just because it's my ritual. But I feel like I could have a cup of coffee at midnight and still just go right to bed.
Oh, I'm with you totally.
So I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Interesting day for us yesterday. After the show, we were on our way down to the auto show.
As media members, sometimes, got to play the role a little bit.
It would have been nice to see some of you fine listeners out there, but
it's just media day.
You weren't welcome. It was strictly professional based only.
Needed credentials.
Yeah, you needed media credentials specifically to be invited to such a highbrow event. Luckily for us, we qualified, and so we were welcomed with open arms and enjoyed quite an afternoon with our
at the Taste of Detroit. Is that where we were?
Yeah,
that's essentially it.
Well, we got to play some video games, which was nice. We got to see the Ford GT.
Sweet.
What was your favorite exhibit of all the exhibits we went to?
I thought about that, and I have this great feeling about Mazda. Mazda really impressed me.
That's funny you say that. I thought the same thing. I don't know what it was, but Mazda really, I
found myself just going back to Mazda a couple times. We both did.
Yeah.
We were
like
there
what
together.
Car?
Yeah,
I don't remember
the reddish ones.
The cars were, but they had some dynamite California rolls, and Jay and I just camped there for 20 rolls each.
You're not exaggerating. I think we probably had 18 to 20 rolls. The oatmeal raisin cookies were outstanding there as well.
I didn't have one of those.
An excellent coffee bar. The little barista dude willing to give you the cappuccino.
Yeah, Mazda really pulled out all the stops as far as we could tell. I mean, their display was more impressive than anybody's. I mean, having coffee right there with their own cappuccinos.
It's great.
And the cookies and the California rolls really made their booth stand out. More than most.
Who we shouldn't poo-poo, however, was Smart Car.
Yeah.
Remember what did we eat there? Remember that? We had like a little, what was it? The little omelet thing?
Oh, that's right. We had frittatas.
Yes, that's what it was.
That's right. Smart Car with a very impressive booth.
Yeah.
Frittatas with some little toast piece.
I've got to say, Smart Car was my second favorite.
Was it really? Yeah. See, I was going to go with Ford. I thought.
Are you kidding? Ford had a lot to offer to me.
Well, hold on. Where'd you get the croissant? That looked delicious.
That was good too. I don't even remember.
Oh, the one you were eating in a Porsche?
Yeah, in like a $300,000 car. There's E with one of these.
He's in a Targa 4 with a.
Yeah, with a just munching on a croissant, and there's these like handlers that go around and spray things down and wipe them and make sure there's no fingerprints. Which basically there's a guy following E the whole day, because every time he got out of a car, he grabbed it by the window. There's a big hand mark. But the guy's like, just you could tell he just wanted to put his hands underneath E's mouth to catch any crumbs.
Yeah,
I guess I just didn't think about it, but
yeah,
I don't know where I got that from.
That looked hearty and good.
It was. The frittata was nice.
Yeah.
I like Ford just because they had a more selection of things.
Well, they
I
had
mean,
the candy bar.
the
Yeah, they had a whole
candies.
candy bar, which was good. And
Not
then,
to be confused with a candy bar
oh,
like a
sorry.
Snickers.
Yeah, that was not clear. A whole bar with just jars of different candies.
I don't
Yeah.
really know why.
Which made their display pop. I
It
really
did.
felt like Ford's automobiles popped more by having the candy bar.
well,
And then the
They-
box lunch.
lunches,
I mean, that was a
Yeah.
nice touch.
I agree.
which I ate later that evening.
Yeah, he
Like-
took a box lunch home.
They had they were
Your
like
ass.
they were adult Happy Meals is what they were.
Exactly. Yeah, it didn't strike me, but yeah, you're exactly right.
You had your choice of veggie, which I noticed there were almost none of those were taken.
Yeah, crazy. No one seemed to
Yeah.
want the vegetarian.
I don't know. There was enough Euro trash there that I'm sure that's got eaten up.
Good point. But they had chicken sandwiches with apple slices and string cheese,
Roast beef.
roast beast
Yeah.
with string cheese, and then they came with a little toy in them, like a little
Had a
dinosaur.
dinosaur.
toy.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, so Ford was well represented there. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
The Ford GT, by the way, is unbelievable.
Yeah, you'll see it there in white this year. Very
Yeah.
impressive.
Damn, was that impressive.
Mhm.
Very, very cool. But yeah, it was. In all seriousness, it's a very cool to go down and see all the.
Man, I hadn't been there in at least 10 years. And the thing that hit me most was the displays. Like used to be back in the day, you'd walk in and everything was just ground level. And of course, you had logos all over. You could tell where you were in terms
Yeah.
of, okay, that's Ford display. But now it's like, there's just over the top. Like,
The screens,
video
yeah,
screens
yeah.
and just really incredible flooring and stuff, 2 levels.
Yeah.
And I know it's been going on a little while, but I just haven't been down there to see it.
Yeah, well, seeing all the digital monitors and it was really cool. I thought, what was it? What was the truck when we first walked in? That
Oh,
was
the
it
Chevy.
Was it the Silverado or something? Or
I don't even know if it's that class. I don't even know. But so you have Ford with this unbelievable display, and then right across the aisle you have Chevy,
yeah,
which definitely didn't put up as tight a display as Ford, but also they put like their low end truck like right there, just their
Yeah.
bottom end. I mean, like
it looked
like
like a
just-
stripped down.
yeah, crap ass like 14-inch wheels, just really stripped down.
Yeah.
not even an extended cab. Is like,
Are we sure that wasn't just an employee's car that they just backed it? Like, we got an open spot.
yeah, they're guys bringing in food or something.
Yeah, it
No,
just seemed weird. It was just white, base white
Yeah.
with shit rims, and it was like, what is like this is? Come on, this is the North American International Auto Show in Detroit.
Right there, like on the main aisle.
Yeah, when you first walk in, it was like, wait a minute, what's going on with this guy? But yeah, it was fun. I don't know how well we fit in with other media members, to be honest with you.
Well, we didn't have our tightly tailored suits,
Yeah,
our Italian
Our
suits
hats that
walking
don't
around.
go over our ears.
Well,
No, I know.
he spotted one
I
normcore guy
know.
there. There were the 3 of us.
I know.
And then there was one normcore dude out of the blue.
I
have
know,
no
but I kept
idea.
running into him. So
He was
I kept,
incredible. He was angry that he looked more normcore than him.
he
It
was
yeah.
hipster, not I don't know.
no,
Whatever.
he was
Well, I don't dress
normcore
like,
from
then,
head
then
to
I don't
toe.
dress like that. That's
Well.
the thing.
Normcore from head to toe.
I do not dress like that guy. That guy is whatever. Sorry.
We should give a quick shout out and thank you to Kadog too, who did a nice job of handling Big E for us.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that
some adult
real-
time. That
yeah,
was really
it really took a load off to not deal with.
Mike.
the whole time.
That is how Gab and I feel when we have a babysitter. Honestly, like that
Really?
freedom to just go and do what you want. Hey, let's go back to the Mazda exhibit. Get some more California rolls.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's get a coffee. Let's hang out and chat.
yeah,
And that's how we feel when the kids are off and we know they're attended to.
yeah.
So we appreciate that, Kadog. Just wanted to
It was
publicly
fine.
say
Well, you know
that.
what? It worked out better for me. Maybe I didn't want to be with you, snob adults. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So this
I was
was
fine with it too, by the way. So
this was one of I've been in public with E, but usually when I'm in public with E, there's like drinking involved.
Mm.
I haven't been in public with him that much. Like if you compare the amount of time I've been around this son of a bitch for hours on end, right?
Yeah.
But not so much in public. This was probably the one
It's
more
not fun.
serious event. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, Red Bull, we talked about that, how he
Yeah.
conducted himself there. But this was interesting to like legit worldwide media is there.
Oh yeah,
and he's walking around going, "This is effing tits, man."
I did not say that.
You did.
No way.
That's why we got the stink eye from the lady at Ford when we wanted to play the video game.
That is not what happened.
I
heard him say tits.
No way. That's not what
I
happened.
was wondering about that. What they did, they had like
that's bullshit. That's not what happened.
Hold on. They had Xboxes set up with like driving machines so you could sit down and I took first place. I don't know how you guys fared out.
I got sick after the first turn and had to give up.
I think E took 17th place.
Yeah, I had a bad start because I don't know how to shift, and it was not an automatic.
Yeah, well, I took first in case anyone's keeping.
Oh, you
tabs.
did. You definitely did.
But yeah, I was in a Ford GT. I think he was in a Ford Festiva. So E was. So for what it's worth. But yeah, they had these individual module stations that you could just go and race
with a very unfriendly handler.
Yeah, well, I wanted her to get a picture of us. A picture
image, if you will.
Yeah, of us playing the game. I was just like, hey, do you mind taking a picture? And she just stood there and looked at us like we were assholes.
Well, we were assholes.
I didn't think we were. I must have missed something, but she's looking at me for a few seconds and it got so uncomfortable that the guy that was there at the Ford display goes, hey, I'll take it, guys. I'll take it. And she's like, no. And she grabs my phone to take it, like, fine, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she took a couple pictures, which was fine, but I was wondering. So there's more to that story.
No,
then.
there isn't. I didn't say that. And Kadog, I had interaction with her first. I'm sure of it. And he just said, "Hey, can we all race each other, or is it just one-on-one or individual? Whatever you can. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't know this is the first I'm hearing
very
about
chilly.
it. She was.
Yeah.
To esteemed members of the media, it seemed out of place.
Well, I think that was part of it too. She was very snobby because again, us assholes walk in and she's used to seeing the Euro trash that's
now that
wandering around.
Yeah.
In their little
painted on jeans or pants.
Preppy painted on stuff. Yeah. And then did you spot the nuances to the various levels of dress? There was like, the tight suit and all that and very buttoned down. And then there was like the casual.
Oh yeah.
And you see just the step down a little bit, but still really high end crap, like $300 shoes still. But I'm casual. Just wandering around the auto show.
I noticed lots of fancy socks.
You are right.
Fancy socks are everywhere.
Like
it's amazing that it took this long to get socks up to the next level. Like ties have been there for a while.
Yeah.
Seems like socks, either white or black, you would have done more with that. And they have now.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, were they on display.
I hate that these apparently are back. The idea of not this,
elbow patch.
Yeah, elbow patches. And like like you said, they're finally, custom made dress suit.
Supposed to look cash, but
right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway,
a lot of beards, a lot of those beards. God, I hate beards right now. I know I've said it before, and I had all these listeners. Like, God,
that real hipster, like real trimmed out beard, and then the slick back hair.
Yes,
it's a big look right now.
So
it's a
much.
big look.
I hate it. I don't know. I hate hipsters. I just
all of you doing
hipsters.
that, you're gonna look back in 10 years and have to answer for it.
No, you know what? I subscribe by my theory though. Like the worse you look now, the cooler you were then. So
I know,
they'll be able to say,
still,
"Hey, man, that was the thing. I was on the edge right there."
Yeah, but you're still gonna have to answer for
That's
that.
all right. It's just clear you're a sheep. That's the problem.
Ooh. It's a shot.
It's like, hey, if you're the original guy or you were in on that a year ago, cool. But
yeah. Anyway, I know we were having to answer for mullets. It's not fun.
That's okay, man. I'm cool with the mullet.
Are you?
We lived it. Hey, if you didn't have a mullet, come on, man.
Yeah, parachute pants. You cool with answering for parachute pants?
Yes, and I wonder why those haven't come back in a more
shocking
strong
that
manner.
they happen on some level.
Oh, they
all
will.
the 80s and 90s stuff that's come back recently.
Those were arguably the coolest thing during that decade.
What was that? Was that Michael Jackson?
Yeah,
it seems Michael Jackson.
The whole break dancing thing.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah.
And I guess I always think of MC Hammer, but
that was after.
That was way after. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
he had something totally different. His pants were
those stupid wide.
Okay, I guess I didn't.
Did anybody ever wear those? Like
I don't remember those. I remember one kid in junior high with the balls to pull off David Lee Roth spandex.
Wow.
I know. Impressive, huh?
like with the fluorescent kind of
Oh yeah,
tiger pattern or
like
something?
full on, dude.
Holy
Full on. His name was
crap.
Paul, and
Wow.
Paul pulled it off one day. He showed up, and he was wearing David Lee Roth.
Just once. He did it once.
I remember him once wearing it. Yeah, it was at Riley Middle School in Livonia, and yeah, it was like wow.
with like high tops.
Yeah, like the
Awesome.
wrestling high tops.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
I mean, was it received well? Were people like shit? Or
I think if you would have tried to pull that off, you would have ended up stuffed in a garbage can or something. But Paul was able to pull it
It's
off.
all about attitude, man.
It was about attitude, and he had kind of a swagger about him, even in 7th or 8th grade, whatever it was. And it was like, I remember looking at him because I would have killed to do that. Oh, I would have loved to try to pull off Diamond Dave's pants look. You know, I'm not saying you go buttless spandex, the assless spandex or chaps like Roth could pull off. But if you wanted to go classic, just spandex with some nice white wrestling shoes, some Nikes, more power to you. I wouldn't have had the balls to do it.
Well done, Paul. I wonder
Yeah.
where Paul is now, running some company or
Probably.
something. Yeah.
Probably.
You know what I don't have now that I wish I meant to wear today is my button. I don't have my button that I made.
Oh God, Ease button.
I'm very
We
happy
made a
with my
friend.
button.
We made a friend at our lunch table. She invited herself to join us. Tu was her name. TU, and
That was her name.
yeah, Tu, and oh wait.
I don't feel like Chinese tonight anyway.
Anyway, Tu told us that she was like, "Did you make a button?" And we're like, "What?" She's like, "Make a button," and I didn't know what she was talking about. And she points over there, and he's like, "What? You can make a button?"
Not how it
you know
went
those
down,
old
but-
school pin buttons.
Yeah. And so they had different designs and you could color them. I mean, it was like adult coloring books.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird that it was there. And by the way, I didn't say this when I got back to the table, but when I was making my button, there was a decently attractive girl, like most of those like kind of models are there. And she's asking other guys walking by, like, "Oh, did you like to make a button?" And there were several guys that were just like, "No," and just kind of they couldn't just kind of like, "No, thank you,"
Yeah.
or what, like very just like, "Oh, what's this?" She's like, "Oh, making buttons. Do you want to make a button?" No,
Not even like
Probably not.
no, like very very
it
rude
was
to be
more
honest.
just like
It was just odd to me. It just seemed odd that you couldn't like even just walking by would almost be better than just to me how some of them responded. But whatever.
But E responded, "Hell yes." And so he got down and colored his Detroit button and then proudly wore it around.
I wish I meant to bring it today and I don't know where it went, but maybe I lost it already.
If you go to it, what is it open Monday?
Yeah.
You will enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's always a cool event. Not that we need to tell you that. Anyway, after that, I got home and one of our fine listeners, his name's Lee, sent us a stick like 2 weeks ago with a bunch of movies on it. He was like, "Hey," he messaged me one day and was like, "Hey, have you seen Concussion yet?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to send it to you. I've got it." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." He's like, "Yeah, maybe I'll throw some other movies on there too."
he sits
Like,
in the
okay,
back and
whatever.
camcorders it or what?
No, they're like distributed media copies.
Lee.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so finally Kadog loaded, a player that would work for my computer because he's from a foreign country. Lee is. He's a neighbor to the north.
Gotcha.
And not that was the problem. But anyway, so I watched that and this son of a bitch threw on there Concussion, Spectre, Creed, The Revenant, Spotlight.
Wow.
Like all of these movies, they're all on there.
Thank you, Lee.
Yeah, so I couldn't help it. I watched Concussion, which was pretty good. I still look at Will Smith and just go, ugh, I hate his kids so
Yeah.
much that it's hard to.
I heard that was a really boring movie.
It is kind of, yeah.
Really boring.
I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be more gooder than it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, but no, it's good. I mean, if someone wasn't a fan of the NFL, I at least knew the players they were referencing, Dave Duerson, and yeah, you would know if you saw them. Those guys, Mike Webster, the guys that had concussion issues.
Right.
Like
Mike
yourself?
Webster.
Yeah, exactly. The famous Pittsburgh Steelers center. But I don't know. It's all right. But then I watched The Revenant. Holy
Sweet.
shit, dude. DiCaprio is unbelievable.
What is that about? Like, I got to be honest. I know so maybe you're about to tell mildly what it's about. I don't even actually know what it's about. I just know that all I know from that is that he's in it and something about how he ate like some animal liver in
Yeah,
the
oh,
movie
yeah.
or something, and he actually did it or something.
Oh, he did?
I believe that that was
Yeah,
real.
it looked real. I was wondering that too, if it was like some gummy version of something. But yeah, it's a it goes back to the Indians 1800s or something, or early 1900s. I'm not sure what period it is, but he's a guy, his son gets killed and he gets attacked by a bear and he's left for dead by his team of guys, and he ends up surviving. I don't know. There's not all that much dialogue in it, but just watching him, like a total Oscar performance. If he doesn't win an Oscar for this movie, he'll never win one. I mean, it's painful watching him in it with not much dialogue. I think you'd like it, Jay. So anyway, thanks.
Super long though. Is it like one of these 3
It's like
hours?
2:30.
Oh,
Yeah, but it moves along.
okay. I'll check it
Yeah.
out.
So that was how my day filled up.
Well, let me tell you, why spend time sitting in traffic going to the game when you could spend the afternoon watching the game in the ultimate sports lodge, Twin Peaks? At Twin Peaks, you won't find the standard menu of frozen foods that go out of a bag and into a fryer. You'll find the best kitchen in sports that's making everything from scratch, right down to their ranch. Catch every big game at your local Twin Peaks. Good food, cold beer, big screens.
One of the things I noticed in this movie, though, first off, there was a lot of stories early on before this movie came out about DiCaprio being raped by a bear.
Huh?
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, oh my God, he got sexually assaulted or raped by a bear. He not got raped by a bear. He got attacked by a bear. I don't know why people were thinking he got raped by a bear, but he didn't get raped by a bear. The other thing that stood out to me was these old time dudes on running around with pipes.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, they had
pipe
like
movie, huh?
they had like corn cobs. Jay, I'm telling you, you have to watch it just to see
The pipery.
the pipery is second to none. I
Huh.
mean, the draws they're getting on these bowls.
It adds to the drama.
Oh, I mean,
I mean, to be an actor and be able to throw a corn cob in your mouth.
yeah, and be exhaling through the nose, which
Oh.
means some inhaling's
Oh.
going on.
Just sets the scene.
And the bowls were so nicely packed. You could
Yeah.
just the glow.
Are they fluffy?
They were fluffy, yet you could see walking around with that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
and they'd be having these meetings, intense discussions, and there's the pipe just billowing out. These, and I was just like, wow, that's where Jay and I need to get.
Yeah.
That's
Well, we're working on it.
yeah, but I feel like, dude, you're gonna be embarrassed when you see.
Really.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh, we got a lot of work to do if we're gonna get to that level.
Pipery.
And this is
Well-
old school. This isn't with new tools. There was no filter
Yeah.
in a
right.
pipe
Well,
like this.
There's no filter in our pipes.
Not anymore.
Well.
But anyway, I think you'll like it. And speaking of rape, or should we talk about the
Yes,
Should
we
we
have to
mention
mention
this
the political rhetoric
State of
that
the
went on
Union?
last night.
yeah. I honestly I didn't even watch much
It's
of it.
unwatchable.
Yeah.
It really is. Like,
That's just a blow fest, isn't it?
yeah. What are you going to learn from it? I guess.
Yeah.
Right. You can just read the headlines or listen to the wrap up later and get everything you need to know. Like, okay, I guess the big news is he's going to cure cancer. Or wait, no, Joe Biden.
Joe
is.
Biden is going to cure
Yeah.
cancer.
Nice.
As
Yeah,
if
we'll-
he's the
we'll
first
set our-
family member or victim of cancer in
yeah.
the world. That now that it struck Joe Biden's wonderful white family,
This is something we need to take seriously.
we
Wow.
need to get on this now. And Joe Biden's going to cure it to a standing ovation.
Who
Is that
who better to put in charge of such a serious issue than Joe
Joe
Biden?
Biden, sure,
The bumbling Joe Biden.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
He can figurehead the hell out of this.
Do you think doctors across the globe are just rolling their eyes at shit like
Of
that?
course.
Oh, now we're going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Now that Bo died, so let's now we're going to take this
Wow.
seriously, as if they haven't been
Or-
working their balls off to try to cure this disease. But Obama's got this shit now.
well, thank goodness, I guess, right?
Well, we start the campaign 8 years ago with such hopes for hope and change, and we end with
more hope and
such,
change.
Yeah, promises
future.
of hope and change.
It's nice to get lectured too about how important it is for us
Be
to
inclusive.
be very inclusive.
Don't go back to your tribe, Mike.
Yeah, don't exactly. How
Tribe.
What
how
was it?
insulting. He's talking about people, and we've got more stories about it later about
yeah.
what's going on in Germany and how they're dealing with the migrant crisis over there. And so he's speaking to Trump is what he's doing. He's talking to Trump, who's who's talking plenty about this, but he's warning people like, I know it may be in some of your hearts to want to regress or digress back into your tribes.
Yeah.
And we can't do that. We're better than that as people. And it's like, dude, your job is to protect the country and protect its citizens, not worry about, I don't know. It just seemed like a bunch of horse shit to me.
Both sides, Republican, Democrat, whenever they do these,
Yeah.
it's just political rhetoric. It's
Yeah.
bullshit. I also heard him say this.
Now you know that guy ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Who
like
was he
people-
talking about
I
there?
think that was in direct reference to Trump.
Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, I also heard some other crazy stuff.
This shit's getting way too complicated for me.
Yeah, that was when he was like, cancer, way too complicated for me. But Biden's got this.
shit. I thought it was weird when Paul Ryan was when Obama was eating food up there. I couldn't tell what he was eating, but
Yeah, I think
when Paul
There are
Ryan,
white folks, and then there are ignorant motherfuckers like you.
well, I just didn't. I couldn't tell what it was, but Paul Ryan was trying to take some of his food. And
You
it
ain't
was,
my bitch, nigga. Buy your own damn fries.
oh, it was fries he was eating. Yeah,
fries.
it was weird. It seemed out of left field that Obama would say something like that. It
I
was
hear
weird.
I hear you. I heard the reports this morning. I couldn't believe.
So what happens when we go out to a party with some sisters, huh? What happens? I tell you what happens. Blam! They on us like there's no tomorrow. High school chicks, university chicks, it don't matter.
Was that last night at the post parties or?
Yeah.
Sure, you can have my number, baby.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, from a married guy
I
with a
know,
couple
his wife's
daughters.
right up there, right?
Yeah. Sure, baby, you can have my number. That's from his book reading.
Sorry ass motherfucker got nothing on me, right? Nothing.
I can't believe that's him.
That's your president, folks. Sorry ass motherfucker ain't got nothing on me. See, he hasn't.
You ain't my bitch, nigga. Buy your own damn fries.
Where did that come up in the book reading? I don't understand why.
Well, you know, probably an interaction with someone in his life.
I get that, but I just
Excuse me, sir. Can I have one of your fries?
You ain't my bitch, nigga. Buy your own damn fries.
Happens. What are you gonna do? Anyway,
Happy New Year from Zott Ford and Holly, the official auto dealership of the Detroit Cast and Metro Detroit's leading lease pull-ahead authority. They specialize in getting you out of your current lease up to 12 months early, regardless what you're driving now or how many miles you have on it. Zott Ford will assist you in terminating your current lease with no penalties and hook you up with your new badass Ford. So dump your overpriced, over-mileage lease and let Zott Ford make your wildest dreams for 2016 come true. Check out their astonishing deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
is it time to stop saying Happy New Year? I noticed that Gabara said Happy New Year to start that read. Did you notice also when the president came out yesterday for the State of the Union, he had to say Happy New Year to every person he passed? You know, they do
Did
that
he really?
that 20-minute
Yeah.
long walk where they
Oh.
shake hands and kiss everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Happy
Well,
New
the
Year.
king is walking in, right?
Exactly. To a standing ovation for 20 minutes as
Yeah.
he's just eking his way down the aisle, shaking hands and wishing
the
everybody
12th?
a Happy New Year. I know. It's like, dude, it's January 12th. You should have gotten your Happy New Year's out of the way by the second.
Well, it just shows how little they work together, right? They haven't seen each other since like last October.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he hasn't
Huh.
seen any of them since the holidays.
Seems like a waste of time.
sorry.
Little erp.
I know.
Yesterday we were talking about the that rape that went on in Brooklyn.
Ugh,
The
gross.
5 guys on the
Gross.
18-year-old girl. That story was weird. Well, they arrested the 5th guy. Handsome looking devil. Look at that. Look at that. E. You see him there?
Yeah.
How would you like
Wow.
that guy piling onto you in a park? Huh?
Hell
Jay?
yeah.
Anyone in favor?
For the record, no.
Is he West Coast?
I was
would
going
have
to say,
thought
is
he
that
was
West Coast?
East Coast. He's given the West Coast. Games. Gorgeous hair, by the way.
Mm.
I don't hate him, but I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah. So the 4 other teenagers that we mentioned yesterday that were picked up have been charged as adults. I think there's a 14-year-old and a couple 15-year-olds in there.
Good.
Yeah. It was the gang rape in a playground of this 18-year-old woman. The
It doesn't crack him up anymore like it used to. That's disappointing.
gang rapey.
It's not.
No, it's not funny anymore, Tim.
Yeah.
You know why? Because probably the remembrance of why I was laughing in the original story is gone. So
The 5th was taken into custody while in high school. He's in his high school class, and they came in and grabbed his ass. How fun would that be? Police initially identified 4 of the accused rapists as Denzel Murray, Shaquelle Cooper, Ethan Phillip, and Onandy Brown.
Oh, Nandy.
Onandy Brown.
Was Ajmataj Buckshank wasn't involved?
no,
Jack Marius Tech Theratrix?
No, he was able to escape this time. Yeah.
Okay, good for them.
However, Travis Beckford was the one that was picked up later.
Gotcha.
Authorities were told the attack began around 9 o'clock in the evening when the 18-year-old woman and her 39-year-old father decided it'd be a good time to go into the pitch black park and have some beers.
What?
Which seems a bit odd.
Father-daughter time.
Well, you know, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to find that time, and you got to find it when you can find it, right?
Exactly. It's hard to connect with the busy lives.
These
Everybody's
days are
leading.
busier than ever with Twitter and whatnot.
Let's go have a drink in a dark park.
You
think he was
this,
making-
this story is going to take a turn.
I was going to say, do you think
fellas.
he's making his move?
I'll explain
Okay,
what's
I'm
going
sorry,
on
okay.
here, but this story is, I don't know what to
It's
believe.
a good move.
The woman said that this group of teenagers approached her and then ordered the father to leave. Remember, get the fuck out of here. They pulled a gun on him. So he returned moments later and chucked a beer bottle at him. Like, get out of here, you. And threw a beer bottle at these guys. And that's when one of them pulled out a gun and chased him away. That's father and daughter's story. The father, who didn't have a cell phone, said he wandered around for several minutes in an attempt to get help. He went into a deli to call for help, but a merchant refused to let him use a telephone. After about 15 minutes, the father
What?
flagged down a couple cops
Wait a minute. What?
who find her wandering around at a playground.
If
What's your
that's-
question?
If that's true, I just can't believe that's crazy, man. Somebody you'd be sitting there like, dude, my daughter's like getting, whatever going on, and someone's like, nope,
Yeah.
paying customers only.
Well, there's more to that story as well. Lee.
Okay.
Apparently, this father and daughter had just recently reconnected. He'd abandoned her when she was a baby.
Ooh,
And
we've
she
read
was-
stories about this, Mike.
Oh,
She was raised on
here
the
we
West
go.
Coast and shit.
Here we go.
And so she went into foster care, and then and now she's just kind of reunited with this dude. And on Monday, a worker at the deli said the victim's father was swaying from side to side when he asked to use the phone. He seemed drunk as shit. They refused because the man did not explain that it was an emergency.
Oh, God.
He just kind of stumbled in.
Can I use your phone?
Can I
and
use
shit?
your phone? They're like, get the fuck out of here, man. So in an interview with Eyewitness News, the dad defended his actions that night, saying he felt that if he stayed behind and tried to defend his daughter, he would have been shot.
He would have been.
So can't have that.
Right.
That one guy put a gun in my face telling me to run, and all of them had their way with her. That's nice. Nice visual. The victim said she was scared when her father took off running. Dad's taking off running.
Some guy just comes up, and then I'm out of here. Explain that very well.
And just left them to take turns raping her, she said. I know. 2 of the suspects were turned into police by their parents. That's interesting because they released video to the public.
Some good parenting.
Yep. Well, now, I mean, you would think the good parenting would have kicked in before they did the rapes. Whatever. The other 2 were apprehended. 2 of the teenagers claimed that the sexual encounter with the 18-year-old girl was consensual. Huh.
You knew that was coming, right?
Some of the suspects claimed that when the group came across the dad and daughter in the park, they were banging.
Wow.
Who do you believe here?
Oh, Miguel.
What
I know.
This
I know.
whole jumbled mess of individuals in this story.
So the dad's
Something's
just
going-
pissed he got pulled off it.
He's got some blue balls, is what he's mad
Yeah.
about.
Apparently, these guys came up on them. Well, yeah. Unfortunate choice
Eventually
of
they
words.
did.
Yeah. They see these 2 just getting it on in the park, and one of them's like, "Hey, man, can we have some of that?" And one of the boys allegedly asked the father, who was said to have staggered away as the 2 teens just began just going to town on her.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So whether or not this was consensual, a shared act, or I don't know.
What a
Depends
story.
who you believe.
That is incredible.
These are
isn't it?
these people's lives. Like, you got these one hoodlum, this one dude just reconnecting with his daughter from years later. Now he's banging her in the black dark park. Then these other 5 dudes just walk by like, hey, can we get it on this? He's like, fuck, I'm gonna get caught. He runs away. So then they just start banging her.
Yeah.
They're all fucked. Like, everyone in this story is not about to
It's very animalistic. It seems
I don't
like
think they're about to be on the Forbes top 100 list next year.
Oh,
No.
well, that's a big assumption. I mean, you know, he had to
We
get
don't
back
know.
to he had to grab his briefcase and get to work. Who knows? We don't
Yeah,
know.
it was late.
You know, David, we threw out the other day and we asked what David Helm would do if presented with one of these individuals, one of these defendants. How do you approach that?
Where were we
Like,
coming
what's
from?
the playbook? I mean, because we're like, dude, you know, you just gang raped a chick. Where do you even go with this? You know, what's kind of the playbook? And he says, regarding the teen gang rape suspects, my representation would be simple: turn my client on the others and hope for a juvenile adjudication where he will get therapy and no jail.
That's
protect society, Dave.
That's kind of what you suggested. Get him to turn on each other.
Man, Dave Helm is
It's a game, man. It's
He's
a
got to
game.
represent his client.
Yeah.
As a retained defense attorney, I would first want to see how many holes I could poke in the prosecution's case, attack the eyewitness, which are incredibly unreliable, look for faulty DNA, etc. But in the end, you're looking for the best plea deal that I could get.
No, my point is, if David Helm feels he could get these guys who gang raped this chick in a dark park, I feel like he could get me out of anything.
You would hope. I mean, you've got a lot going against you. I mean, character witnesses like Jay and I will be called, and we're under oath. No offense. So,
credibility.
I told you
is
I would
shot.
lie for you if you murdered somebody, but I guess, well.
Yeah, but that
someone
again
did
goes to your credibility. I wouldn't lie for you, and I certainly
Well, I
wouldn't
won't
admit
anymore.
it publicly.
I certainly won't anymore.
Well, too late. The damage is done. Now anything you say, I can go, well, he's on record saying he would lie. So
No,
I
but
mean,
I'm saying I'm just letting you know, if you murder somebody, no longer come to me as a confidant, because I will run to the police ASAP.
I wasn't going to anyways. I can't trust your drinking. Your drinking levels are way too high. I feel like you'd get blackout drunk and you'd tell Chubbs all about what I did.
That probably would happen.
You know what I mean?
He admits it.
Like
I would
Jay
try to.
Jay
I would have
would
good
turn
intentions.
me in.
I would have good intentions,
Yeah.
but
Jay would definitely turn me in.
I would.
But it wouldn't be because he got sloppy.
Right.
It wouldn't be because, I
doing
could
the right
trust
thing.
him. He would just be a man of his word. And he's told me right out of the gate, I would turn you in. You, again, your word is shit because you tell me that you got my back on this shit. And the minute you get wasted.
His word is shit, man.
It is.
There's
It's worthless.
rarely a person you come across in life where their word is less than ease.
Yeah.
It's remarkable time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
And listeners know this, back to the basketball tattoo thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there's
no.
example upon example. Well, I mean, sometimes in life that's all you have is your good name.
Wow.
And you don't
your
have
word.
much more. Let's be honest.
You want to be able to look somebody in the eye and say, my word is as strong as oak.
I don't
Yeah,
want,
my
I don't
word
look
is my bond.
I don't look at people in the eye anyway, and I don't want.
True. Good point.
And I don't want anyone coming to me thinking they can rely on me. I've tried to set up a nice boundary where people can't rely on me.
At least he knows his limitations, Jay. I'll give him that.
Hey, ring in the new year with a new home. So here we are, new year again.
Happy New Year.
If you've decided to buy and or sell a home this year, call Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban, and she will she will guide you through the entire process from beginning to end. Here's what she'll give you, though. And when you close a deal with Krista,
Oh, nice.
she will treat you and your family to a meal at the restaurant of your choice. Check out Krista's website at KristaSellsHouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900.
What if I want to go to like Wolfgang Puck or that's not that expensive. I'm trying to think of a real.
Yeah. What's the big high end place now? Like if you were
well, there's places in New York and stuff.
no around here.
It's gonna
Like, what's the
happen.
big?
Well, they got that new place in Birmingham that's got a $55 burger.
There we go.
Go there for a family.
Birmingham.
I know. Your favorite place. My favorite place.
Right next to Franklin.
Take your right. Good point.
Totally different clientele. I
Little
gotta be
hop,
honest
skip,
with
and
you.
a jump away, isn't it? E?
Just a chip.
Totally different societies going to Birmingham and Franklin.
The Franklin Cast with Jay and Mike.
Too bad President Obama didn't put Joe Biden on this cancer thing a few months
earlier,
ago.
yeah.
I mean, maybe we could have saved David Bowie. You know what I mean? It's too bad now that Biden's
There's
got
a few
this
people
shit.
you probably could have saved if it had been solved.
A few, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So David Bowie, what was it? Liver cancer?
Liver. Yep.
Mm.
Terminal liver cancer for more than a year. He was desperate to live so he could see his daughter grow up. Despite the diagnosis, they say he continued to make music, and that final album, that's amazing to me. Knowing how sick he would have been to come out with this album 2 days before he passed away is unbelievable.
Seriously, to be that devoted to your craft,
Yeah.
where you're staring death in the face and you need to get this out. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I need to get this final album out.
I mean,
that's
after
crazy.
after 24 albums, though, really,
Right.
I mean,
I didn't realize he had 24 albums.
at 25 now, and at 69 years old, I mean, let's be honest, your finest work.
What? I'm just 69.
69.
It's also not.
What do you think I was gonna do?
I don't know. I prejudged you, Jay. I'm sorry. I was thinking you were going to do something else.
69.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, Black Star was that album. Was the album, and I got to think, like, how good could that album be? I kind of want to hear it now. I mean, it'll probably be good for album sales, but I mean, how well are people writing at 69 versus when they're 25?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. During his illness, he was sometimes too frail to work, but weeks before his death, he told the director of a musical based on his songs that he wanted to make a second one now, in a sign that his creative spirit was undiminished. Ivo van Hove told the Dutch radio station, he told me more than a year and 3 months ago that he had liver cancer. Just after he'd been told himself, in his dying days, he started writing notes, like poignant notes to friends and family and people who had no idea he was sick. They were unaware until the announcement that he died. And then they get these notes like, thank you for your friendship over the years and blah, blah, blah. I mean, really kind of classy, cool shit.
Very cool to have that time to be able to do that, right? I mean, it's better than the alternative. I don't know. What would you rather have? You just get slammed in the head by a piece of cement and die right away? Or would you like to have some time?
I don't.
Guy like you, I mean,
I think it would depend on when it is, I guess, in my life.
One last time to thank your parents.
It just depends on when it is in my life.
What would you rather have?
I'd rather have the time. Yeah.
You would?
For sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't. But
Yeah?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I think I just
Yeah.
well, we know that.
gone. Bye-bye.
Life force.
Yeah,
I'm in pain.
you guys will just show up one day and I won't answer the door. It'll
Yeah.
just be, that'd be fine. Because I don't know. I feel like those uncomfortable conversations where people have to go, oh my God, you were great. And I really
like,
enjoyed your friendship over the years.
I don't want all my
Let's not
friends.
make it about me all the time.
I don't want people. That is the one thing. You're right. I don't think. I think I would, even if I had something, maybe you'd want the time, but I certainly would not be this person who would have to tell everybody. I would not.
Really? Why not? You've
Because-
got that time. It's a gift.
No.
Yeah.
I could see maybe
It's a
like
pretty shitty
deciding
gift.
to like, hey, dude, I really like Ty. I really want to. We really need to do a road trip in the next month or something. Like I could see wanting to do that. But I would not want to go around to every single person because then they have to
Oh
sit
my
there.
gosh.
Then
Yeah.
they have to sit there and tell you, oh. blah,
No, then you
blah.
do what Bowie did. You just write him a note
There we
instead
go.
of
Then I would-
saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna die." So, and then you get all,
Yeah.
everybody
Okay, I'm
gets all
saying-
emotional.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm saying
that's-
I don't like the people. I wouldn't want that
But
idea.
then you
of-
got to sit down and write individual notes to
I'll do
everybody.
that.
You know they're going
You
to
asshole.
Well,
I'd
here's
rather do that than
you
have
know
the
they're going to
conversation.
compare notes, and you don't want to be accused of writing the same thing to everybody.
Quote
Like
unquote compare notes.
exactly, and
Mike,
it's like, oh, your friendship meant the world to me. Oh, I guess his friendship meant the world to everybody. He said the same thing to
Sort of
E.
like the birthday cards. You're trying to come up with something different.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd feel compelled to do that. No, man. No, you wouldn't.
No,
No.
I'm just saying.
You have absolutely the right answer is you want the time. Come on, guys. Make videos, everything, right?
No, that seems like a lot of work when I'm already sick. Why are
Oh
you
my
putting this
gosh.
pressure on me
I
to
guess
do
it
all this
depends on
stuff?
if I could probably, depending on how the sickness was, you could probably use it to get laid, I guess. But I mean,
What was that movie? Was it Michael Keaton who was dying? This was years ago, probably 20 years ago, where he did that. He was like making videos and leaving them for his unborn kid or something. It was some sad
People are doing
chick
that
movie.
now.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Or what was
there
it?
was some mom
the
that
last
did that.
lecture was really big. It was a book maybe 10 years ago.
I don't remember.
A dude who was a professor, MIT or something, some really high, maybe Carnegie Mellon, some really well respected dude, and he knew he was terminal, and so he put this last lecture together, and it was really inspirational and shit.
There was
But with kids and family, I mean, are you kidding me? The answer is you want the
well,
time.
that's the thing. Of
well,
course,
yeah,
you have kids.
there's definitely a difference between E and I and you.
You still have families. Come on.
Yeah,
There's still other people in your lives. No,
Are
can't
they-
talk you into this one.
well,
Rather brick to the head.
yeah, I think I would, but
I've stated that I'm not sure. I could see benefits to both for sure.
God.
There was the woman who I think it was a woman. It could have been a guy, but I think it was a woman who there's been a few people that have done this, but started doing those videos like their terminal and their
Oh, are they trying to
newborn.
make it like a blog though, where like?
Well, they did videos like play this on their
Oh yeah,
10th birthday and then on their
Yeah.
12th birthday and
giving advice,
giving
or just-
life advice like, okay, now you're getting into this stage of life and you need to,
Jeez.
and yeah, and you
You
see
think
it.
those kids just go like, oh, geez, gotta watch this again.
No, no.
No, not many kids are like you. E.
Go to get to 16 and be like, oh, now my dead mom
Whatever,
has to-
Dad.
now my
Yeah.
dad has to tell me how to drive a car.
It's bad enough I got this stepdad now who's standing here telling me. Now I got my dead dad ordering me around.
Yeah. But yeah, it was on video and like for her birthday every year, she would pop in the tape of dad and he's like, you know,
That's spectacular.
But they're not any
Well,
different. It's just her sitting in front of a camera for an hour.
How do you
and
know
going,
it's not different? Of course it's
But
different.
she hasn't aged, so it's just going to be the
Oh my
same.
God.
Why don't you
Oh
just,
my God.
Why don't you just have her doing one thing saying "Happy Birthday" this year?
You
Yeah,
don't think
but-
she
and then-
personalized it? You don't think she tailored it?
But she won't know what's going on in her life, so she can't say like,
Oh
"Oh,
my
you
God,
should be
Eve.
getting ready to blah blah blah."
This is absurd.
the other thing is you don't know how that child's life is going to develop
What if it
and
sucks?
move on. Yeah. What if she's a train wreck? And here you are going, well, you've probably met the man of your dreams. Meanwhile, she's a total lesbo and dad's going rambling on and on about, oh, I can't wait to walk you down the aisle. The man you've met, a big fan of his.
Yeah.
She's
She's
just,
scissoring away.
yeah.
Well,
Oh, my
you know.
dad's so
Or,
off base.
or
with
I mean,
this.
dude, do forget being lesbian. You're like, oh, so the same thing. You met the man of your dreams, and she's just like, no boyfriend, just completely depressed, gained a lot of weight, horrible life situation. Now her
Yeah.
mom's
Yeah,
like,
the challenge for the dying person, I think, would be to tailor it in a general way. I
Yeah,
think.
very general. You know, you don't want to. You don't want
So
your
you should
daughter
be
watching
older
this in
now.
prison.
Should be older now. Best of luck to you. Hope you're well.
Do you do it like those books where you can choose the ending? Do you do that where like
Choose your own adventure kind of thing.
yeah, the choose your own adventure books where it's like turn to page 80 if you want to go
Yeah.
this way, turn to page 120 if you want to go that way.
if your life turned
If-
out good, watch this one. If your life
Yeah,
turned-
if you spent the last 2 years in jail, put this tape in. If you failed your driver's test, put this test in.
Oh boy.
You know, if she
They're
turns
all
out to be a bull dyke, put this tape in. And there's just a whole catalog of tapes that mom's like, oh God, yeah, if she turned out, she went to jail for 2 years and she's a raging bull dyke. Which one do we put in?
Mm,
You can see my dilemma.
Yeah.
This is where my head
trying to
goes.
anticipate everything would
Yeah.
be tough. Yeah.
The stumbles through life. You just don't know where it's going to go. And I'm not saying any of those things are terrible. If she's a lesbian, whatever. But if dad's making some amazing tape about walking her down the aisle with the
Yeah.
man of her dreams, it's going to seem
how
dated.
he always just his dream was always just to have her find her prince and have him be the
Yeah.
provider and whatnot.
Well, maybe the point there is maybe that was his dream, and she can listen to it or not.
Ooh.
Take from it what it
Ooh.
was.
From the grave.
Anyway, this director that said that was working with Bowie on this musical said he was sworn to secrecy about his cancer battle. He said, we have to work together very intensely for the next year, and I want you to know if I can't be there, why that is. So he's basically giving him the heads up, which I think it's very respectable. During rehearsals, the singer was very fragile physically, not mentally, but he refused to stop working and fought like a lion. It was written that he looked so well, so healthy. So he shows up to the premiere of Lazarus, which was this play that was going on. And people, and if you look at those pictures, he does look,
Really?
he looks older, but you know, he looks pretty well. He says, so the reports are coming out, wow, he looks so healthy, so well. And he said behind the podium, he collapsed from exhaustion. It was then that I realized this may be the last time I would see him. Friends suggested that Bowie was determined to keep his privacy as the greatest luxury and slip away almost like a phantom. It's kind of cool. Figures from the music industry said they heard rumors that he was gravely ill, but the seriousness of the condition was not widely known before his death.
I like that. I really like a lot of this stuff his way of going through it.
Yeah, well, you
Not
realize
needing it, I don't know.
that's a telling story. The greatest luxury in life to him was his privacy.
Yeah.
And when you strip that from someone at 25 years old and they're no longer able to walk down the street, you can see there's no amount of money that can buy you that again.
Well, and you know what the shit worldwide media would have done with it? Would have
Turned it
under the
into-
guise of, let's celebrate this great artist. It would have just been just
And it would have been
diarrhea.
people with telephoto lenses trying to sneak a peek of him in bed
The last
through his
image
window.
of David Bowie.
Exactly. And knowing that there's some other shit ass media outlet that's going to pay $250,000 for that image.
Yeah.
If they can get him, stepping outside for 1 second with a cane, or being helped into his house. Like, that's where we are. I mean, remember the death photos that were being offered of Whitney and Bobby's kid?
Bobby Christina.
Yeah, Bobby Christina, where it's like, oh, we've got, even family members. And you almost can't blame them when someone's like, just take a picture. It's worth $250,000.
Yeah.
But that's where we are. So I think that's a very cool thing for him to go, hey, the greatest luxury in life is your privacy.
Yeah.
And
well, Jay wrote in concerning Bowie and your coverage of the Bowie issue, Mike.
Oh boy.
Takes issue. David Bowie dies and all Mike can talk about are sex claims from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of what popped in your head,
and that's what I said. That's all I said was that I feel terrible that that's what popped in my head.
They have been disputed for years, written by a pissed off ex of Mick's. Come on, guys. This guy was once in a lifetime. Go back and listen to the Ziggy and Hunky Dory albums.
Yeah.
He was an artist in all sense of the word, not like today's people. That's for sure.
No doubt about it.
This one was a true genius. Eat stocks, Mike. LOL. Love the show.
Yeah. No, he's right. Bowie is. But
that's what popped in your mind.
That's what popped in my mind. And can you pull up that video really quick? Dancing in the Streets.
Oh my God.
Mick Jagger and David Bowie. And you tell me if
it's not
what?
good. It's not good.
I'm just saying. And we're paying tribute by playing some of his finer work.
Right.
That's all we're doing. Yeah, no, I kind of felt bad about that because I agree. I understand. It's not lost on me what a well-respected genius David Bowie is.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Bowie, Mick Jagger.
God.
You could literally type Bowie Jagger dancing.
Yeah,
Google,
yeah.
send.
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye. You don't need to type Dancing in the Streets video by David J. Bowie and Mick Jagger.
I don't really care.
With not a single one of those words spelled anywhere near correctly. Here they go.
Oh, the shoes.
South America! France! Germany!
Why did they do this?
You make it full screening.
There goes Mick. Go, Mick.
Oh, Jesus.
Calling out around the world. Are you ready for a brand new beat? Summer's here and the time is right.
The 80s was so unfortunate.
In the street, dancing in Chicago. Down in New Orleans,
Oh, this is bad.
in New York City.
They're rubbing faces, dude.
Why'd they do this?
Sweet music, there'll be music everywhere. There'll be swinging, swaying, the chords playing, dancing in the
Is this just
street.
Coke? Is this Coke at the time?
Maybe, yeah. Oh,
wow.
Well. Nose to nose.
Imagine, Jay, us doing a promo video for this show and dancing forehead to forehead, nose to nose.
Just dancing down an alley.
Dude, they're literally centimeters from lips together.
God, what a cool voice.
Yeah. Both of them. Oh, look at Mick gazing. Oh.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
Why?
his voice is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely got to say Mick took the dominant role in this, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
If you had to pick one.
What was
I don't know.
That
The
was big
80s,
when we
man.
were young. You know what I mean? Like that.
And that's why you remember
were
it, because we were children of the MTV, right?
generation.
When that
totally.
when that hit, you were watching everything and anything that they put on there, and that was a big one.
Yeah. that was played like crazy.
And so it's no wonder that's when you think of Bowie, that's one of the first things that pops in your head.
And when I think of Bowie's early stuff, we just were too young or not born yet when a lot of that stuff hit. Now, I respect all of it, just like I do Zeppelin stuff or the Beatles stuff. But when you talk about like memories that pop in your head, it's like, oh yeah, that's what I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
That's what I think of. And it's like,
God it's too bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I think of that, and I think of the extras scene that we watched the other day, which is dynamite.
That was dynamite.
Anyway, sorry if I offended anybody.
Yeah. Hey, got to mention, this portion of the Detroit Cast is brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Well
Why
said,
spend
Jay.
time sitting in traffic going to the game when you could spend the afternoon watching the game in the ultimate sports lodge, Twin Peaks? At Twin Peaks, you won't find the standard menu of frozen foods that go out of a bag and into a fryer.
Fries?
You'll find the best kitchen in sports that's making everything from scratch right down to their ranch. Catch every big game at your local Twin Peaks. Good food, cold beer, big screens.
You ain't my bitch, nigga. Buy your own damn fries.
That's right.
Wow, that seems a little.
Remember we were talking about El Chapo the other day?
That little chap.
Son of a bitch. And we were commenting at the time about his wardrobe.
His shirts were unbelievable.
They were.
I know where this is going.
What's that?
Nothing.
What?
The fact that this is becoming a trend.
Oh yeah, his silk shirts are huge now.
God, that's so stupid. Why are I
How
don't
pathetic is society?
dude? Now every time there's a story now, good or bad, it does not matter. It's just like that shirt, that whatever.
Hold on. Who are they huge with?
Well, some people
selling out, aren't they?
Some people. Who's buying that crap? Those are the ugliest ass shirts I've ever seen.
I could see E getting one of these. I could see a listener sending E one of these shirts to wear.
I wouldn't wear.
You wouldn't want a Chapo shirt?
No, but you're right. I could see E wearing that.
No, I wouldn't.
Come on, man. That's exactly the type of dumb shit you wear.
Maybe, but not now. I wouldn't do it because of Chapo.
They're saying it's becoming a must-have item now.
Well, I don't buy must-have items.
Now the clothing firm behind the shirts that he was wearing is taking advantage of the headline making photo of them shaking hands to use him as their
Spicoli, of course.
And
it was what, like that real silky look with kind of vertical stripes, though, right?
Yeah, that
hoofing up on the bottom.
Yeah, so he's got like kind of a paisley pattern with a couple vertical stripes going down, real silky, open neck, open collar.
Hell yeah,
good look.
They said the LA-based Barabas has published the photo of the pair meeting at the Jungle Hideout on its website under the caption "Most Wanted," offering customers the chance of a free El Chapo shirt for every like on Facebook and Instagram. So they're offering the chance. So if you like their Facebook, it's good marketing. And what, they randomly draw one. They're also advertising the other shirt Chapo used for his chat with the actor. Crazy Paisley is what they call that one. The crazy Paisley. Which I got to say, it looks better on the model than it does Chapo.
I think if I have to pick one, I go Crazy Paisley.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of those vertical stripes, those thick stripes.
But that's the more famous look, though.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, if I had to pick one of those shirts,
gun
to my head, I got to wear one of those out. I'm going Crazy Paisley.
At one point overnight, the firm's website appeared to go down because of the number of people trying to access the page. People were going online and complaining that we're trying to buy this shirt and it's crashed. Sheep.
Wow.
Messages on the Facebook page asking, "I want one. Did they come in a female version?"
So the question is this too soon for Halloween? For example, when we get to October, are we going to look back and oh yeah, nobody remembered? Yeah, whatever. That's not going to work. But that's a nice little outfit if it can stick. You got the Crazy Paisley, you got the little Kitterman. Just comb your hair down like that.
Hike up your pants a little bit, put a belt on, and tuck the shirt in.
Chapo wouldn't work.
With trends now, it's like it has to happen in August.
Yeah,
there's too much stuff that comes and goes so fast.
However,
5-10 years
this
ago?
look though, this look is distinguishable. That you could. This is an easy Halloween costume.
It is. Guys are going to be drawn to that because of the ease. You could just grab a couple of Ziplocs of flour, carry those around.
Right. You're right.
We've often talked about Jay's Halloween costumes over the years, whether when he wasn't going as Ghost, when we would have Halloween parties. And I told you the great example of Troy versus you, and I think you went
the Riddler one time.
Well, no, but you would do stuff like go as a high school student and you would just dress like you and have beers with everybody.
Yeah, I was that asshole.
Yeah, but Troy would, and bless his heart, he would show up with like a custom like table with a picnic table.
Yeah, he couldn't
sheet
get
over
through
it.
He couldn't get through doorways.
And then he'd have like a beer mug mask on, and he'd be a beer on a table. And it looked spectacular in photos, and it was hilarious in the moment. But then he had to walk around all night trying to lift this mask and get a hole in to drink his beer. Meanwhile, Jay,
Practical
high school student, is standing in the corner, macking on bitches, drinking beer all night, having the time of his life. And it just seems like this, you could pull out, you could literally throw on a Kitterman, this dumb paisley shirt, and be like, I'm Chapo from last year.
I'm the little chap.
Yeah.
How about me, huh?
You know, if you want to crush it for a minute, you walk around on your knees.
Yeah.
I'm El Chapo. Si,
Well,
senor.
the good news, I
Bienvenido.
guess, would be is that he's going to be there for a while because they're trying to extradite him.
Yeah.
So if it stays in the news, I guess.
I'm with you, E. It probably is an August cutoff, but I'm also with
August? You think it's August?
Years ago, no, but now, dude, look how fast
When
all
did
these things we
Caitlyn Jenner
talk-
happen? When did Caitlyn?
Well, he was an ongoing.
When did Bruce?
Yeah, he was an
decide
ongoing
to-
That's a little
story.
different because
When
it
did he
was-
tuck his balls back in Gervais's words like a little bulldog? So when you look at it from behind, it's like a little bulldog.
Didn't do much for women's drivers now, did he?
Did you see his? I was telling Jay. Did you see his? All yesterday he was just on Twitter, just absolutely unquestionably defending his.
As he
jokes.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, people hammering him. How could you
Oh.
possibly
Oh.
rip on Caitlyn
Oh.
and her journey?
Right.
And he's just like, whatever.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah.
Totally good for him. I would expect nothing less.
Right.
from
I
him.
didn't either, but it's still funny when you see it.
Rolling Stone, by the way, has released the full 17-minute video interview with El Chapo. The interview itself, it's basically, because remember when we read the initial story, Rolling Stone article, Spicoli was going to go back 8 days later and interview him face to face.
Well, the deal was he met with him and he just like committed to memory that meeting. And he wrote about it in detail, his travels and all that stuff. But yeah, he was supposed to go back and have a sit down interview.
Yeah.
And then he didn't. He ended up having a video.
There
or
ended
something?
up being a raid on him when the original raid on El
Yeah,
Chapo's.
so Chapo skedaddled.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden, Sean Penn's not a priority anymore. His movie's kind of being shelved because he's running from the Mexican Marines and U.S. authorities, and so that kind of gets shelved. But he still has enough contact to say, "Hey, look, if I send you some questions, can you just throw a video camera on yourself?" Apparently, Chap didn't know how to run a video camera at all. He's like, "Dude, you run this cartel and you can't fucking figure out how to put a video on yourself." But anyway, he gets it figured out, and so he's basically just submitted a couple pages of questions.
Yeah.
And he's got someone off camera who's filming it, asking the questions, and then Chapo is responding to him.
And remember, Spicoli was backpedaling hard on the quality of his interview.
Yeah.
Well, there were some things that were misinterpreted.
Paraphrased.
Yeah.
Took some liberties with my amazing
Yeah.
questions.
Or you just had a shit interview, Spicoli.
Yeah. So anyway, should we take a quick timeout?
Yes, please.
Are you guys playing the Powerball?
Of course.
Is that tonight?
How can you not at this point, right?
Yeah.
Throw 10 or 20 bucks at that. How can you not?
Yeah. Just to be in the game. E, are you buying tickets?
Yeah, but I don't have the money to spend. I just can't spend 20 on a ticket. I'm just going to buy a ticket and
All right,
whatever.
there you go.
Well, whatever. I mean,
But I will buy a ticket.
will you
yes.
buy me a ticket while you're out?
If you give me cash, I will.
Yeah, I will. I'll
You
give
don't want to
cash.
leave the house to get it.
No.
Go another.
But I want to
week.
know. How are we going to do this? Because that son of a bitch, his credibility is shot.
Oh, I know. No, I
It's
think
on
you
you,
need to
well,
have
then-
him take a picture of it. Take
And
an
send
image.
I'm not
to
doing
me.
all that work, so it's your choice. Well, no, it's his ticket. He goes. Go look. There's a gas station down the road. Go buy a fucking
Yeah.
ticket yourself.
If
No,
you're
I'm not
gonna
buying
do-
you a ticket. Don't worry about that. Buy your own ticket.
I can't say I disagree with E, but if I don't know, I can see it both
He's
ways.
allowed to buy you a ticket, but not me a
Well,
ticket.
he owed me.
Well, he owes me too.
No, I don't know that he does.
Well, we'll discuss it. We'll come back and we'll discuss that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
I could make your team's season or break. Hey, it's me, one of the football gods. I could make your team's season or break it. And there's no better place to catch me in action than Twin Peaks. That place is football heaven, and I should know. I'm a god. At Twin Peaks, you won't find the standard menu of frozen foods that go out of a bag and into a fryer. You'll find the best kitchen in sports that's making everything from scratch, right down to their ranch. My thoughts exactly. So spend this season at Twin Peaks. I command it.
Friends, it's me again, Steve Gabarro, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. The nasty cold grip of old man winter is upon us, and there's no better way to beat it than driving a new F-150 from Zott Ford. Lease a new 2015 F-150 Super Cab XLT 4x4 for just $288 a month, zero cash due at signing. Or you can buy a new 2016 Ford F-150 for as low as $24,200. Yes, I said buy a new F-150 for as low as $24,200. Folks, these deals are hotter than the water in Big E's mop bucket. So please hurry down to I-75 at exit 98 to take advantage of these smoking hot deals before they take a knee like Big E.
Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. It's Mike and Jay, Big E, episode 502. And did you see the news that broke last night? The Rams moving to Los Angeles.
Yes. I always kind of still think of the Rams as the LA Rams.
The Dickerson Rams.
Yeah, it shows how old I am. They've been there for 21 years in St. Louis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yep. How bad would that suck if
To have a team just pull out.
yes, like the Colts or Houston,
The Browns.
the
And then the Browns
Browns.
go to Baltimore and win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And you get your replacement Browns. That's good.
Yeah.
Happy for you. But not the team that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I like the move the Browns made with that, where they were like, look, you can take the team, but you cannot take our colors or our name.
Yeah, that was very cool.
I wish the Oilers would have done that.
Mm. Yeah,
They went to Tennessee, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
The
totally.
Titans.
Totally.
And then you've got the Houston Texans, which
I can't imagine it. I've said
like
before.
think about that. The
I-
Lions just like, we're done. Fuck it. This team cannot win. We're out of here.
I could not imagine just losing a professional team, even if I
Yeah.
don't watch them as much as I once did.
I mean, it was hard enough when we lost the Shock.
I still recovering, obviously, but
I think
Actually,
coming
I'm-
off a world title.
The Detroit Express.
Actually,
Does
I'm
it
more
matter?
Yeah.
I'm more bummed about. If I was going to say one of those teams I was more bummed about, it would either be the Vipers or even the Fury, the arena team.
I actually
But the Vipers for sure. The Vipers were fun and entertaining. and
Vipers
cheap.
were fun.
I did go to a few Vipers games. I'll admit that. What was the arena team
Fury-
before
for the Fury.
the Fury? It was
Drive.
yes, the Detroit Drive. We went to
Yeah.
several of those games. We got into
Yeah.
them for a season or two.
I had season
Art
tickets to the Fury.
Schleister. Remember Art
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't who was the wide receiver
Schleister?
that played that from Michigan? Wasn't there a Michigan?
No, you're thinking Michigan
I'm thinking of the
Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're thinking of Anthony Carter.
Yep,
The Michigan Panthers were sweet, dude. That
Yeah.
USFL was no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was an owner. What, did Trump own the
So
New
the
Jersey
Gamblers?
Generals?
Generals. Yeah.
Possibly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great 30 for 30, by the way.
Herschel Walker. Yeah, a lot of it centers around Trump. It'd be interesting to watch
Yeah.
again.
Yep.
But yeah, man, that was no joke. Jim Kelly, they had some real players. in
Steve
that.
Young.
Yeah, the LA Express, was it? LA Express?
Yep.
The
Yeah.
Houston Gamblers,
Yeah, they were paying real money to those players.
the New Jersey Generals, the Philadelphia Stars, the Michigan Panthers, the Oakland Invaders.
Wow,
You can still find those helmets and
Yeah.
stuff out there too.
the Drive won 4 championships.
And I got to tell you something, man. The Carolina Panthers stole from the Michigan Panther logo.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely inspired by that.
Yeah, that was a
You
cool
look up.
logo.
Yeah. It
Color
was
scheme
actually
and-
better than the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers has the whiskers showing.
Mm.
Look up the Michigan Panthers.
Yeah,
It's
it's
nice
maroon
stuff.
and
Yeah, it was like a dark maroon and kind of a bronzish look.
yeah. That was cool. So yeah, they're going back to the Rams are going back to LA, and they're going to build a new stadium that I think will be done in 2019.
Hmm.
So they'll play at the Coliseum.
Oh my God,
I
really?
know. And the San Diego Chargers have a year to decide. I think they'll split the stadium with someone, kind of like they do in New York,
Oh,
the
okay.
Giants and the Jets, which is really weird if you look at that. I mean, digital, it's been easier to do to transform the stadium. Like
Yeah.
on game day for the Giants, the whole stadium's blue and they got blue lights everywhere.
Yeah, look at that. Michigan Panthers.
That's not the one I remember.
The one up in the left corner.
Yeah.
That's pull that E. Yeah, there you go, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's totally taken from the Carolina Panthers, or the Carolina Panthers have taken from that.
Bobby Hebert.
I can't remember what I was saying, but
You're talking
No, how they're going to split the use of the
Oh, yeah.
Coliseum for both what is now the San Diego Chargers and what is now the St. Louis Rams, possibly both in LA. Crazy.
the Chargers have a year to decide whether or not they want to do that
Now,
and
San
move.
Diego's a shit sports town for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
There's a million other things to do,
Yep.
and there's a lot of
Well, that's
transplants.
that's the whole west side, right? I mean, does LA need 2 football teams? I don't know.
It's the country's second biggest market.
But do they-
It seems incredible that we don't have a pro football team there.
Yeah.
But
And how
you know-
long was it since LA pulled or the Oakland, LA Raiders pulled out?
That was years ago.
Was that at least 12 years ago?
Probably.
So man, LA's just been sitting there with nothing.
Yeah,
NFL
for
wise.
years. But they do have, I mean, in California as a state, you do have the San Diego Chargers. You've got the 49ers. You've got the Raiders.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the state doesn't have football. It's just that market doesn't.
Do they deserve 2? Wow.
Yeah. Can they support 2?
Right.
So the Chargers have a year to decide, and if they decide that they're going to stay in San Diego, then the Oakland Raiders can say, okay, we'll move to LA, and they'll get a shot.
Although I will say, I am glad if it's just happening to finally have it just happen instead of every year. It seems like we have to hear, are the Rams moving back? It's like, I'd rather just have it be done with. I will say that.
Yeah.
Would you be in favor of letting the Lions move along and then wait 5 years and bring another franchise in here and see if they can get that right?
Possibly.
You know, that might be the only. There's a lot of people who believe until the Fords get rid of it,
Yeah.
it's never going to win, or they're cursed or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be interesting, you know, just to keep the name and likeness, just like Cleveland
Yeah,
did.
if
and then
it stayed the Lions,
insert a new organization.
in 5 years, is that that'd
Why
be
wouldn't
tough,
you
dude.
take that?
Yeah, I might.
Dude,
can't
imagine
be
that on
worse, dude.
Sundays not having
That
a
would be
Lions team.
so weird.
That
even
would
for
be
me.
devastating.
Let's say you're guaranteed they'll come back in 2 years.
Oh, 2? I might
new
do
ownership.
it. 2 years, I might do it.
Just gotta wave bye-bye for 2 years. The Lions go to
I mean, what's the
St.
difference?
Louis, and they become.
Well, no, but what's the difference? What's the difference on some level? Like they've been gone for 50 years. I mean,
I don't know, dude. I wouldn't be in favor of that.
Yeah, there's Matt Stafford thrown to Calvin Johnson, and they're now wearing maroon and gold uniforms.
Yeah.
I might be able to do 2 years.
And
I
turn
might
into
take
the
it.
greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
They're
think
called
of
the Cobras.
the St. Louis Cobras.
Yeah,
With Stafford.
and you just have to wait.
Amir
2
Abdullah
years.
turns into just a rock star running back.
And you can watch the Cobras, be a Cobra fan, whatever. But in 2 years, you'll get your Lions back under new ownership.
I might be up for that.
Oh no!
As long as I wouldn't want a new team necessarily, but if they did the, like you said, the Browns way, where they kept the Lions logo, kept the team name, all that stuff, I might be for that.
Seeing that, because that team does have talent on it. I know people are down on the Lions, but if I saw the Cobras win a first round playoff game and end up in a championship game in year 1 or year 2, you'd want to murder
There's
someone.
Martha Ford, standing there with her Cobras.
I would be
with their
so
pennant,
pissed.
Yeah.
with their Cobra's pennant.
Yeah.
I would be pissed. You're right.
Oh, you'd kill someone.
But doesn't E's attitude, like him saying, I'd take that, just show like how, and a lot of people, I'm guilty of it too. You root for just a jersey and a logo, right? I mean, he's like, I don't care. Let him go. Let that ship sail. Just keep my jersey here.
Yeah, I've
and
never
I'll root
been
for that when you come back.
I realize that I've never been. I really enjoy watching sports, but to the extent that I've ever cared as much nationally, dude, football. I watch the Lions, and that's about it. I here and there watch plays of other games. College football, I do watch a little more of national stuff because I think college football on Saturday is great. But everything else, NBA, NHL, I just watch the home teams, honestly, for the most part.
Until the Lions get better again, and then you'll watch them.
No, I think that's how most of Detroit is, though.
I
really
know.
supportive of the home team, but the idea of hockey town is a joke. I mean, we're Red Wings town,
Right?
Or we're at that time.
Yeah.
But the notion that most hockey fans here watch anything outside of Detroit, come on.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
No, I'd agree with that.
Well, it was just like the national championship game. I know even my dad, like, because I did the comedy that night, but he's like, "Are you going to watch it or try to still watch it?" And I kind of said, "If it's on at I didn't know where I was going. I thought there might be a bar. I wasn't sure." And I said, "If it's on, I guess I'll pay attention." But I don't know. Who cares? I guess if my team isn't in it.
Yeah, it's weird the way that works, but
I know.
NFL
Super Bowl,
football, though, I can still get into almost any NFL game, like at the start of the season or in the postseason. Like I'll watch these games in the postseason. Obviously, any of the championship games.
I will say college football is out of any of the sports, college football on Saturdays is the closest I come. I will absolutely sit if I can sit down and watch almost any college football game. I cannot watch any NFL game just to watch it.
I'm closest to that in college basketball. Basketball for
me,
over the last 10 years has certainly taken a more prominent spot in what I'm interested in. And I think in large part it's like a contained 2-hour game. I can get my arms around that. I can watch it. Obviously, the tournament is sick and awesome, and you can watch any game there. But even leading up, if there are big games during the year, and it doesn't necessarily like crush one team if they lose it, so it's not like be all end all like college. So
like college football.
Yeah, like college football. But I love the length of that game, man.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't know. I find I love football so much that it doesn't bother me, but I think it's a different game when you DVR it. It's a different game when you can just blow through a lot of that horse shit and pomp and circumstance and all the commercial breaks after every punt and every, like you're right. There's a lot of unnecessary stoppage.
Yeah, a little bit
in college and pro football.
Yep. But here's the thing though. I've done that too in past years, DVR every game and blow through, and you lose a lot by not just sitting there and absorbing. Like it just becomes kind of like all right, just got to get through this.
You can watch it.
Got to get through it. Okay, there's touchdown. Okay, cool. Next, and you're just you're less
I don't
emotional
do that.
about it. Maybe
I don't do that.
You just go through commercials.
Yeah, I want to see the promo come back up that we're back live.
Okay, see, I was going through huddles and stuff,
and I've done that too.
Yeah.
I've done that too, Jay. Where it's like I don't really care about this game, but it is a playoff game. I was doing that with the Bengal Steeler game the other day, where it was like, okay, just fuck it, whatever, fast forward, But if it's a Lions game or a Niners game, no way, dude. I want to see every play, even in a blowout. So I don't know. To each their own, but I understand why college basketball. There is something cool about that. Where in 2 hours you get a full game, and it's
and it has its share of stoppage too. At the end of the game, there's nothing more infuriating than the foul. Timeout, foul, timeout, shoot 2 free throws. That gets old, but for the most part, it runs quicker.
Anyway, so the Rams on their way to LA. That's official, and we'll see what happens with San Diego and with Oakland in the coming year or so.
That is so weird, though. You're right. Real quick, you already said it, but like, dude, to just wake up one day, you are right though, and just like, wow, now we don't have an NFL team. As much as we talk about, that would be crazy.
Yeah, there are big Rams fans in St. Louis.
Absolutely.
Obviously, not enough of them, but there are a lot of big. They won one Super Bowl. Greatest show on turf. They had some great years. Great years.
And those fans are diehards. Those are sports towns.
Yeah, no, that's one of the best baseball towns.
Yeah.
Arguably the best for many years.
Especially in a Midwest town like St. Louis or Detroit.
For them, sports is
in
the
winter. That's
well,
dude, that's everything. Like you go to LA or San Diego, it's like whatever. There's so much to do. The weather's gorgeous all year round. It's like whatever.
And those are homegrown fans. They aren't people who are just
transplants.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it's gotta suck.
Yeah, that would be devastating for a city like this, or St. Louis is feeling it today for sure. Anyway, maybe someone in St. Louis could win the Powerball and then just buy their franchise back and then bring it back to St. Louis. Maybe that's the way they should attack this.
Problem solved.
So if it's not going to be a Detroit Cast listener that wins it, and obviously
which we've already determined, if they win, they're just going to give us, what was it that we decided?
Well, they should give
$1 million for the show or something.
Oh, no.
No, 50 million. 50 million. Is that what you decided?
For Jay.
For the show.
I think Jay and I each deserve 50 million. And if someone wants to give you a gift certificate,
you're being selfish.
Well, we can negotiate. Whatever. I'm just saying that's the initial.
If that happens, well, maybe everyone will be happy. If you guys got that and I got a gift certificate, I would obviously
if somebody
leave,
can't
but maybe people would be happy. I don't know.
If somebody's going to be so selfish as to not donate $100 million to Jay and I, they don't deserve this show.
No.
I mean, seriously, because you're going to walk away with 900 million and you can't give us 100. You need all of them 900 million
for what we've done for you.
Yeah. Selfish. Selfish. I expect more out of a Detroit Cast listener. It is a dick move. He gets his gift certificate.
No, I expect at least $1 million, or I would leave. But maybe to be happy. Like I said, most people be happy with that. So whatever.
Is that a threat?
You were very happy with the gift cards you've recently received. So
I am.
Just keep those coming.
Not if I see you guys getting 50 million.
Well, we'd be generous. We'd buy you lunch. I think we could go on record saying that we'd be willing to spring for a lunch here and there.
I don't need your pity bullshit.
Well, then you better win the Powerball.
Maybe I will.
All right, good luck with that.
Maybe I will.
I know.
Well, fine,
dude. As if I had control over it.
Yeah, we get that you wouldn't have control over it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's up to $1.5 billion now. They're saying, wasn't it at like 400 million a week ago?
Man,
train
is rolling.
$1 billion. That's more than most people will make in their lifetime, Jay.
Oh, really?
I reckon.
Do you recognize that?
I
I
reckon.
mean, dude, you could work your whole life and probably won't even get to 1.4 billion in earnings. So, I mean, in one day, you could literally make what most people won't even make in a career.
Get him, E. Get him. I know
don't
you're
have
chomping
any-
at the
no,
bit
I
to
don't
get
have-
him.
no, I
That
don't-
Champing at
ridiculous
the
thing.
bit.
You got it. Come on.
I don't have anything to say about it.
It's the largest U.S. and world lottery jackpot for a single winner ever. It's worth $930 million if a winner chooses an immediate cash payout instead of annual payments over 29 years. I heard Mark Cuban saying you should not take the lump payout.
Whatever, Cuban. I
I
don't
know.
trust that it's going to be there. Bottom line, it may not make the best fiscal sense. You might have an argument that you can show me that it doesn't.
Yeah,
But, dude, I don't trust it's going to be there. What'd you say, 30 years?
29.
Take it,
Yeah.
people. Anybody who wins it, take it.
I think his point is if you're not used to having money, it's a way to police yourself a little bit, something like that.
Yeah.
He says to just throw it in the bank too. Don't go into the stock market with it.
Well, yeah, you're going to have a strategy, I think, for sure. You're not going to want to risk entirely.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're going to put an enormous amount aside. But, you're going to play with some. And
Do you
put
know
it
how
at
many
high risk.
mistakes you can make with $1.5 billion?
Right.
I mean, you can really fall on your face time and time and time again and get out the other side
Yeah.
and still be okay. The jackpot started at 40 million back on November 4th and has been growing ever since. Officials increased the jackpot Monday from the initial estimate, which we were wondering if that was an estimate. How do they know that? The estimate was 1.3 billion, and now they're saying 1.5 billion. It's reviewed daily. So each day they review, like, okay, where do we stand? Some electronic billboards are having trouble. They never
They don't have
expected.
that spot on there.
Yeah, they don't. And so it's like they're stuck with this like 999 million, because they
It's
don't
like
have
when
another comma.
It's like when McDonald's. Remember when they used to, they were counting on those signs, and then
Oh, yeah,
that
like
it reached
300 million sold.
and then for a while,
Now it just says billions and billions.
right?
served.
And it just. But I remember when there were still numbers where they were all nines, and it was just like whatever. Like
So in Texas, billboards are advertising the prize is 999 million. In Iowa, the message printed Sunday at the bottom of all lottery tickets said the next Powerball jackpot would be 1,300 million. So 1,300 million, which is technically right.
Yeah, nice.
Lottery officials say 75% of the 292.2 million number combinations were purchased ahead of Sunday's drawing.
Mm.
there's no way they're not all purchased by today.
I heard our neighbors to the north are flooding our borders, coming down and getting them.
really.
Why wouldn't
Can
you,
they?
I guess?
Will they let them win that?
I reckon.
Can foreigners win? Does that count? Can Ted Cruz play the lotto, the Powerball?
What's the Constitution say about that?
Powerball officials will allow you to purchase all possible combinations. So if Dan Gilbert, for instance, wanted to, he could literally buy all
Yeah.
combinations. They say that's not the best investment.
Well, the problem is someone else could pick it as well, and then you're splitting it, and then you don't get your money back.
Yeah. Well, at $2 a ticket, the strategy would cost about $584 million to do that.
So what would
When taxes are subtracted,
Yeah.
you'd end up losing money. Plus, if someone else, as you said, matched the numbers, then you'd have to split the prize. While you'd make back some of your investment on smaller prizes, like if you match 3, 4, and 5 numbers, they say it still would be a risk. So interesting.
You'd be willing to put up 580? Did you say
584 million
possibly win
to buy every number
Damn.
combination. 39.6% of the lump sum would go to federal income taxes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why?
I know.
Why?
Plus, that's not including the states. Most
I
states would
know.
take a chunk, including Michigan, would take a big chunk of that too. Some people believe that pooling their money with co-workers, listen up, gentlemen, is will improve their chances of winning. But they say you have such tiny odds to begin with. Even if you spend $50, $100, it doesn't matter.
But here's the thing: if your office has a pool, you have to enter it.
Yes.
If you can
Yes.
imagine being
You
the
could
guy,
not be the one
the
left
one guy who's
out.
like, no, I don't have $2 today. I'm
Yeah.
good, dude.
Well-
Well, your whole office wins.
And
Oh,
then-
that would be
and then
just
you're just
tragic.
sitting there. They're all.
Oh, you would kill yourself.
Yeah. Well, there
You
was a
probably would.
story that I watched a few years ago now. It might have been during one of those specials on the curse of the lottery, but it focused on this town, this small town, and they were just like farmers and whatever. And there's, 150 people or 100 people in the town, and they would pool their money to play the Powerball lotto. And there was one guy in town who was like, "Hey, go fuck yourselves. Get off my doorstep. Get out of here, you." And he's got his little corncob pipe. Like, go fuck yourselves, all of you.
We're never gonna win.
Get off my land.
I said, "Beat it. Scram, you." And they won. And so the whole town.
And then there's this one dude in his
Or
shack.
you know what? You know what it was with him? I think he played it with them all the time, and finally was like, one day was just like, I don't feel like it. Get off my land.
And that's the
I don't
day.
feel like it
But
today.
now he wants it. Now he wants to be included.
And I don't think they included him. And everybody's got the spoils now. The whole town's like driving Mercedes and shit. Here's this ass swipe on his John Deere, just like, man, fuck these people.
Dude,
Don't
you
be
would
that
go
guy.
into such a depression, if
Yeah.
not kill yourself.
Your whole town wins
Right.
the lotto, and you.
Don't be
And
that
think
guy.
about it. Think about it. Even like if you want to like you go to the bar, like, well, I'll go to the bar. Like everyone at the bar is gonna be rich.
Mm.
Everybody you know, you'd kill yourself. I think you really.
What do you do?
would.
I think I fold and give the guy a few bucks. I don't think you would, Jay. I think you're just like, nah, you made your decisions in life.
He was
and,
in before and he distinctly cut himself out. I don't know.
Pretty cut and dry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be devastating. You almost have to just to save yourself that sheer embarrassment
Exactly.
in case.
Totally.
Like,
I played office pools for that reason. Like, I'm like, I wouldn't typically play this. It's only like 10 million. I don't usually play until it's over 200, something like that. But
yeah,
it's going around. So yeah, I'm going to put my money in. You got to be crazy not to.
right.
Yeah.
Just throw the $2 in or whatever.
Yeah.
they say to get it in writing, like, because E's going to go get tickets for us,
Yeah.
and we need to get it in writing so that he can't go, no, these were my tickets. And what are you talking
I'm not
about?
getting anyone's tickets. I'm buying my own ticket.
If you do buy Mike a ticket, just take a picture of it and
It's
say, this
easy.
is yours, so that you know which one's yours and which one's Mike's.
I think it'll be good for Mike to go up to the local gas station and buy his
Or
ticket.
we just split it as a team. What if we just split it as a team? E gets his 5%.
Mhm.
We take our percentage.
Sure.
And
No, I'm buying my own ticket.
no, you can't. E. You're going to buy one as a team. What if my ticket wins and you lose? You're going to feel like a dipshit. We just talked about this.
I'm going to the gas station. I'm buying one $2 ticket for me. You guys can do what you want.
Selfish. Not gonna.
You're right.
You realize this is a son of a bitch who we used to send out on breakfast runs and be like, I feel like a McDonald's hash brown and a Burger King.
You dick.
And then, you know what? Those Sundays at Big Boy are really good. E, I'm going to need you to stop at 3 locations.
I know. Well, that was when I was.
And now he's like, not gonna. I'm already going to be there buying one for myself, but fuck all of you guys.
Now he's big stuffing you, Mike.
Yeah, he's hot shit now that he's got media credentials.
That was years ago when I was
Yeah.
an intern.
Wasn't that many years ago,
I know it was
sir.
only like 5.
Yes.
Actually, my Facebook just reminded me of a memory the other day that I had a status where I was like excited about my new internship.
You know,
Really?
your point though about Mike getting out and getting up at the store might be a good one. I was frankly worried yesterday as he was driving.
Why?
We had Mike drive us downtown, probably the least experienced driver among the 4 of us in somewhat inclement weather. And I was worried.
He's
I
gonna get out
thought,
in the neighborhood for sure.
thought he was riding the guy in front of us a little close a few times. I wasn't sure he was used to driving in the slush.
Yeah.
And
What's this white stuff?
yeah, he's got what he got 6,000 miles on the car now. That
You put 2,000 of those miles on it.
yeah.
In
I
like
think
a week.
you and I got cars. You got one like maybe 2 months before me. Mine just turned 15,000. Yours is just over 6.
Huh. Yeah, I was worried, dude. I swear to God, at the rate I'm going right now, I'm going to have to fill up gas again next month.
I know.
Seriously, I'm going to have to
And-
fill the tank again next month.
Well, you should do it.
It
now.
cost me a quarter
Yeah.
tank of gas in that little rendezvous adventure we went on yesterday.
Have you noticed how cheap gas is now, Mike?
I don't know. Is it $5 a gallon?
It's like
I haven't paid much attention.
191.
I didn't.
I've
I
seen
didn't fill
180
up
in
last
the
year though.
80s.
Is it gone up a lot or
Mm.
down a lot? What's the deal?
It's really quite good.
Huh.
You know, that's funny, man. Like everybody bitches so hard at the president when it goes up, and nobody gives any credit. You know,
I
it's
know.
it's really been nice to have this cheap gas.
And it's been going
It's
for
been-
a decent amount of
it
time.
has,
too.
yeah.
Unless
I
you're
think
invested in oil.
well, dude, right? But it's been really, really nice for the consumer. And
Yeah.
you haven't noticed this particularly, but I
have.
It's
I
a
play it
big
up. but
difference.
Yeah.
I have really been thankful every time I pull up to that pump.
Dude,
And
it's-
especially with that truck, you fill it up and past going over $100 and stuff, and now it's like, okay, I can live with that.
It's
Yeah.
only the only annoyance of it is at some time it's not going to stay. So it's like every time I fill up when it's only like now, like I can my car is just a Chevy Malibu or something.
Yeah.
And so it's like $23, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is awesome. But it's just like then it's like you get used to it, and
No,
then
but-
boom, that time
well-
that it all of a sudden becomes 40 again is going to be like, holy.
And the
fuck.
problem is the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So this issue's now been backburnered politically. So everything's good, and then it's going to jack up to $5, and then everybody's going to scramble to try to solve the issue.
Right.
I don't know. Solving the issue probably means getting becoming free from the damn oil somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And that because of this unrest in the
Yeah.
Middle East that we've seen for thousands of years and will continue to see.
Yeah.
We see no break from that. So it's going to happen again, as he says. But it's nice to kind of come
It
up.
certainly
for air,
is nice now, dude.
come up for
Like-
air a little bit on the gas issue.
Yeah. Speaking of unrest in the Middle East, we're getting more of the full scale of what was going on in Cologne and Germany and Europe with these sex attacks and these migrants. I know it's absolutely infuriating to think about officials bearing this story for political reasons, worried that the right is going to go, told you so.
Mhm.
And so it's like, just act like it was some shenanigans. Don't act like don't tell the real story to the public as if they can't handle it. Fuck you people. Police notes taken by officers during these sex attacks reveal the full detail of how women were groped, sexually assaulted, robbed, and raped at the hand of this vicious mob. As we said, over 500 people, I think it was up to 533 people, said they were attacked by immigrant men in a free-for-all of humiliation. The notes reveal how women complained they were surrounded by sexually frustrated men who tried to put their hands inside their tights and tried to put their fingers in their vagines.
Jesus.
Dude,
Yeah.
let's say you're sexually frustrated. Like, what's your end game here? You're gonna finger some stranger chick in a group. What are you getting off? No, you're not getting your rocks
Is
off.
it just
You're
a power thing?
just
I mean, because
assaulting this chick. I mean, that is so weird. That is so bizarre to me. And then
Well, in the land you come from, you've never seen anything but a grimace running around. You've
Right.
never seen anything more than a woman's ankle.
yeah, but unless you have your dick in your hand and you're actually gonna produce something out of this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do.
Like you're gonna assault this person, stick your finger up
But it's
there, you're
not a
gonna grab
person
a
to them.
boob.
It's not a person.
Okay, but what are you getting out of that? Like you get like a second of wow, that's awesome, and then what? You're just more sexually frustrated. You're gonna
Finger
turn
in a
around.
vagine is kind of sweet, though. I mean, it is.
You're gonna get off while you're doing it?
No,
I
no.
don't understand this.
No, I agree. I don't either. I think
Don't you just get more sexually frustrated? Like, wow, I just said that was awesome. I like that. Yeah, finger and vagine, sweet. Booby, yeah, I like the feel of a booby. Now it's even worse.
Why are you asking me?
Now
I
your
don't
balls are
know.
even bluer.
yeah, Mike, why are you okay with this, Mike? What is
Why?
Yeah,
Why are they doing this, Mike? What's the end game?
I can't say. I don't know. Maybe they think.
Come on.
Maybe in their dream scenario, the chick's gonna go, "Oh yeah, I've never had a finger
Yeah.
so sweet in my vagine."
just like those
Take
guys,
me.
who pull up next to hot chicks at lights or something, like stare at them.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
always an
they've
awesome
never
move.
seen
As
any-
if the chick's gonna look and go, "Yeah, you, me,
Yeah.
right now in that parking lot," and pull
Yeah,
over and
it
nail
happens.
'em.
It
Okay.
happens. We've seen it in porns before. Pizza guy shows up at the door and some
true.
hot chick pulls him inside. So guys have this. They've read about it in Penthouse Forum, and it's like, I could be the one.
Penthouse Forum.
You don't
it
know
happens.
unless you put
There's
the feelers
a
out
chance.
there.
There's a chance, I
See,
guess.
there's a chance. So, here are the police notes from that night, which began. The first complaint came in at 10:15 at night and peaked around 1 a.m. and went as late as 4 a.m. 10:15, female victim, ass touched, mobile phone stolen. 10:30, 2 victims surrounded at the entrance to the station by a group of people, assaulted in the genital area, 2 fingers inserted into a vagine. 10:30, female victims, 2 victims surrounded. 10:55, 3 female victims, 1 handled in her pants and ass, 1 pulled the phone out of her bag. 10:55, 1 with hand down her pants, touched up from behind, her mobile phone stolen. 1 was hit, 1 had handbags snatched. 11 o'clock, surrounded and heavily touched. 11:15, 2 female victims groped by a group of 30 to 50 men.
Like, honestly, stop here again. I can almost understand raping a person more than this. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I don't
There's
know.
been
Groping.
30, 50 guys
You're with your
too,
buddies
like-
groping a chick's like, come on, what is it?
Yeah, I don't. It's probably
There's got to be a component of hey, I've got control over you, as he mentioned, right?
It has to be.
It has to be in large part that, like,
Well-
F you, I'm doing what I want.
Well, what is it when a Courtney Love on stage with Hold stage dives she's going to get her ass vagine grabbed and her titties grabbed. It's going to happen. So what is that? I mean, those guys aren't getting anything off of that.
That could be more like, I fingered Courtney Love.
Well, that's true.
You know, you always have that story.
And that's not,
Yeah.
I don't think that's really the same thing, dude. I mean,
Why?
No, I don't think people really full on.
But I'm
molest
talking
doing that.
specifically to Jay's point of, dude, you're not coming from this. You're just
Yeah.
groping someone. Well, what is the point?
Yeah, what is the grope? I guess
So-
I'm not understanding like the value of the grope.
Why does
The
someone
grope of a stranger.
Why does someone brush by someone's titties on a crowded space in a
Are you
subway?
filing it away to the spank bank? Is that the deal?
Maybe. I don't know. Is it just it's forbidden?
I don't do that stuff, so I don't know.
Well, you're
I guess.
probably the closest one who could probably speak to that.
I suppose that's what it could be. I do not have any interest in sliding by some titties on the subway and going, hell yeah. My
Okay,
pants are going
guys
to be tight
balls,
later.
guys tight jeans, whatever.
No,
It's like Adam Sandler in Billy Madison when he went by on the bus. They double dog dared him to brush his teacher's titty.
dude, that's a little different
What is that in?
situation.
What
Dude,
is
that's
that in?
great.
Billy Madison.
Oh,
Oh,
He's
I
on
don't
the school
remember
bus.
that. I don't
Sorry.
remember that.
And
Oh,
he trips and like grabs her titty. as he's
Oh, that's
walking by.
awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, so I don't know, but I don't know what's going on with these guys, and that list goes on and on up till
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the
And they all
morning. It
steal
gets-
phones and all this. Is
Yeah.
awesome. Nice animals.
3 Syrian teenagers have been arrested for an attack on a girl at a swimming pool in Germany as well. 3 boys are alleged to have surrounded the 17-year-old girl in the pool before one of them groped her underneath her swimming suit. So they pulled the swimming suit aside.
We've seen that move before.
That they've deemed this rape in Germany. When the girl's sister tried to make them stop, she's 14, by the way. She too was groped by the teenagers who were all under the age of 15.
Oh my god!
Just immigrant children. Just
yeah,
you know,
the
I mean,
poor widows and mothers and children just looking for a home.
I understand you put still images of just the eyes up on the screen and you play some soft music underneath it. You know, these people need our help too. Like
for the price of a cup of coffee.
Exactly. But here's some youngsters under the age of 15 who are just like, grab a titty at the pool. Because they were asylum seekers, were only 15. They were not remanded in custody and were later released. They'll be prosecuted under juvenile law, so no big deal. Meanwhile, German police also claim to have solved another sex attack, this time concerning the rape and attempted murder of a 24-year-old woman on Christmas Eve after tracing DNA to a man at a nearby asylum home. The alleged attacker, aged 20, had been previously arrested for theft in Dusseldorf, where a sample had been taken that allowed him to be identified as the rapist, while later he attacked the young woman outside a cemetery. The attacker approached her from behind, beat her unconscious before dragging her into a cemetery to rape her.
Oh,
think about that horror scene.
Yeah.
That's right out of a horror movie. Police also confirmed they have solved another sex attack, this time a 15-year-old girl involving an unregistered asylum seeker who had been given accommodation in Berghausen.
Yeah. Hidity.
What do they say? Reaping and sowing?
Yeah.
How does that go,
The chickens
Jay?
have come home to roost.
Or so they say.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's me, Big E, the #1 floor mopper at Zotford and Holly. Zotford is much closer than you think, located on I-75 and exit 98, just 10 minutes north of Gray Lakes Crossing Mall. Sobbin mentioned Big E hopes to get laid more in 2016 than he did in 2015 while taking delivery of your new used car, truck, or SUV, and Zotford will give you a free autographed year-end t-shirt. Supplies are limited, so this offer won't last long. Check out their massive inventory and breathtaking deals at Zotford.com. SZOTT.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Tiger Blood, yeah.
You know, I get tiger blood, man.
Yeah, duh. Winning.
Wow, winning.
Wow.
I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
What is it?
Duh. Winning.
That's just my favorite.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, that's just.
I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
You just picture him as like Charlie Sheen. It's like, I'm on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen. Wow, duh, winning. Duh, winning.
Doing like a surfer stance.
You do
Charlie
your-
Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. You do your thing. I'll be like over here winning. Duh.
Wow, winning.
Speaking of winning, duh. He admitted that his HIV numbers are up. I didn't give him those AIDS.
He's got AIDS. And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
Big Magic Johnson.
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson. What has he done?
That's right. he was on the Dr. Oz show, I guess, yesterday. He says his numbers are up. Is that good? That's good, right? His HIV numbers
I think
are
in
up.
this context, no, Mike.
This is bad news.
I believe so.
He stopped taking his meds, apparently.
I have no reason for those.
In order to try an experimental vaccine in Mexico.
Okay, Steve Jobs.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? I mean, just have some guava.
What if he hadn't said Mexico? What if he just said experimental vaccine? Come on, Mike, admit it. The fact that Mexico is attached to that, admit it, Mike.
I have the cure, sir. Senor, I have the cure for you.
Sounds good.
Lay in the sun.
Winning.
That sounds perfect. I'll be over here like winning in Mexico. Good luck with your AIDS, America. Duh. I'm down in Mexico like winning. I got Charlie Sheen.
He's got AIDS.
I didn't give him those AIDS.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
Good for you, Donald. I'd been non-detectable and checking the blood every week, and then found out the numbers are back up. I didn't see it as Russian roulette. I didn't see it as a complete dismissal of the conventional course we've been on. I'm presenting myself as a type of guinea pig, the Charlie Sheen guinea pig. Winning. What a hero he is.
Yeah.
He's taking one for the team down in Mexico, is he? In a pre-taped segment shot in Mexico, Charlie boasted, "I've been off my meds about a week now. I feel great. Am I risking my life? So what? I was born dead."
You know, maybe we just do need to wave goodbye to Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the solution.
That part of it doesn't faze me at all. I'll be over here winning. Duh.
Wow, winning.
I was born dead. Am I risking my life? So what? Duh. Charlie Sheen. Duh. I was born dead. Whatever.
You know, I get tiger blood, man.
I'm a Charlie Sheen. What an asswipe. Does he not know what an asswipe he sounds like? Both Dr. Oz's physician, both Dr. Oz and his personal physician, Dr. Bob Huizinga, condemned the treatments he was receiving from Dr. Sam Chihuahua.
Chihuahua? Sam Chihuahua?
Sam Chihuahua. Charlie Sheen.
I'm a cha-cha-cha chihuahua. I'm the smallest dog in town. I never have to walk because they carry me around. When I am a puppy, I'm no bigger than a cup.
I am on a drug.
And
It's
I
called
get
Charlie
no
Sheen.
bigger even when I am grow up.
Good luck in America with your AIDS. I'll be over here in Mexico winning.
Cha-cha. I'm a cha-cha-cha chihuahua. Everybody
Yeah,
think I'm
Dr.
cute.
Chihuahua.
I can feel
Perhaps you've heard of him.
it.
We'll be down in Mexico winning.
I think I'm getting sleepy. It's
I'm on a new
serious,
drug. It's
but
called
I'm, you know,
He's got AIDS.
I didn't give him those AIDS.
And I come from Mexico.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
I'm a cha-cha-cha chihuahua.
This doctor drew some blood from him, and I injected myself with it, senor. Dr. Chihuahua
What?
took
Now, I don't know how, I'm not an expert on AIDS transferring, but
he's on a new drug. It's
that
called
seems
Charlie
like
Sheen.
the worst possible thing that you could do.
To prove
Even he knows that.
to prove that he was so confident in his solution to fix his AIDS, senor, I'm gonna draw a needle of your blood injected into my arm.
Shit.
Dr. Chihuahua, you're the real deal. Now you've got Charlie Sheen in you.
God.
Dr. Chihuahua, what are you doing, my man? So I drew some blood from him. I injected myself. I said, Charlie, if I don't know what I'm doing, then we're both in trouble now, aren't we?
What you
Yeah,
are.
Dr.
What-
Chihuahua, you are.
What you are.
Anyway, apparently he stopped. He was immediately put on strong antiviral drugs 4 years ago, and he's been on those ever since. But he apparently stopped for the false hope of a Mexican cure. Oh, Charlie.
From the world-renowned Dr. Chihuahua.
This statement is so absurd. Yes, the world-renowned Dr. Chihuahua is so absurd. He revealed that he dreamt he was going to come down with the AIDS when he was 28 years old. Talk about self-fulfilling prophecies. I had a sign around my neck on a little gold chain. It said AIDS written in red. Duh, winning. I always knew that that was a message from the universe that this thing was coming. I knew it. It wasn't a shocking thing. It had already been written. I don't panic too much. I usually know how things are going to play out.
Yeah, it's weird that a guy like you would get the HIV.
Yeah.
It's weird. There was such a surprise.
Duh. I wore a necklace that said AIDS on it in the 80s. I knew it. It was coming. Duh. Winning.
Yeah, you bought that necklace. Why'd you buy it? Why was it?
You bought that necklace and then got
The universe-
and then fucked everything you could unprotected for 40 years.
The universe didn't hand it to you.
Everything happens for a reason.
Oh, Chuck. Oh, Chuck. Anyway. Well, we'll keep tabs on Chuck Sheen as we go forward. But how are we doing on
Honestly, we
email,
might
Jay?
just want to wave goodbye to Chuck. This might be for the best.
Duh.
He and Dr. Chihuahua.
I kind of dig Chuck, and I have newfound respect for Chihuahua. At least he believes what he's doing.
He certainly does.
I mean,
my goodness gracious.
He's on a new drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
Before we get to email, Mike, I need to tell you about our buddy Merck, who, by the way, if you go see Merck, I'll betcha he will volunteer to duct tape his hands behind his back and kick your ass if you request it.
Yeah. He can,
I
probably
haven't
still do
I haven't
it.
cleared this with Merck, but I bet he would.
So if you go in there and say, Merck, I'm going to tie your hands behind your back and give it your best shot.
Yeah.
Now, what if it's someone other than Shawnee? Like if he's taking E on, I have full confidence that Merck could take down E, but
No, the point is Merck will give it a shot.
he will.
Yeah.
Can you beat Merck down, though?
I'm not guaranteeing that Merck will kick your ass with his hands duct tape behind his back, but he will give it a shot.
Yeah.
If requested. So when you go see him, do that.
Please.
Merck asks, does your money work as hard as you do? You will spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Call today and tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation, 248-626-2000, and ask for Merck.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
And one other word before I work into email here, I want to give a shout out to Sheen. A shout out to
Charlie Sheen.
Sheen, keep your head up, man. The worm will turn, my friend. So stay strong, brother.
What's going on there?
What's
Jim writes in? Sheen knows. Sheen knows. And that's all that matters.
It might not be worth it.
That sounds like he's about to be winning. Duh.
Jim writes in, King, cult leader, and cellar dweller, half-tard. When I win the Powerball.
Wait, is he calling me a cellar dweller half-tard, or is he calling him a cellar dweller?
You were called, I was called King. I'll take that one.
All right.
Cult and cellar dweller / half-tard. That's how it's expressed.
So I'm assuming I'm cult, and he is cellar dweller half-tard.
Yeah, I'd read it like that.
Okay.
Even though I get out of my house I'm not a cellar dweller.
But you're in your parents' cellar.
I don't live there technically.
What?
I live in my room. I don't live in the basement.
When I win the Powerball, I would probably just purchase 51% of the Detroit Cast. So you guys would still have an interest in the program, but I would have controlling interest and would put you guys on the King's old lawyer salary, including Big E, so that he could hobnob in Jay's circles of prestige and be
Ooh.
able to afford his own King's peanut butter. And he would also have enough to get his own basement apartment with a neoprene fabric couch and a cement floor with a drain, so he could hose the couch and make it more accommodating to the sweeperoo. Sounds good, huh?
Sure.
This
Sounds good
great.
for E. I don't know what's in this for us.
Well,
we give up controlling interest in the Detroit Cast and Radio for One Studios. What do we
It
get out of
sounded like
this?
he was about to give you a few $100,000 a year.
we would have to add some program content like a right-wing news segment for Mike where we can show how the Democrats destroyed our nation. Jay could head up the good news gospel segment to reach those lost souls. We would call it the What Dude Do When They Die.
This sounds like the worst program director in the history of media.
It's seriously, Big E would have a NASCAR segment because this is the Motor City and millions are in the industry in these parts and big fans. Plus updates on all things comedy since he is so funny, or should be. We would also have to make TDC a more corporate setting just to drive Mike crazy and make him rock a suit and tie. Everyone else can dress business casual. Business casual.
I hope he loses the lottery.
Yeah, I don't
want this
buy-in.
listener. Yeah, no.
Big E would be part of the talent pool, and we would get a real program manager and let the fun begin. Love the show, just waiting to get the check.
Manager.
Good day. I said good day. Thank you, Jim, for those thoughts.
Yeah. Just win the Powerball. We'll go from there.
We are open to negotiation. Just come to us once you want. Cheryl writes in, King, FYI, just saw an HLN. Nancy Grace is going to have a special on Making the Murderer this Thursday at 9. Keep up the fabulous job, Cheryl. You know, Nancy, I believe, I don't know this for sure, but I believe she's very much against Stephen Avery.
I think so too.
Like the whole time. She's like, rat,
yeah,
murderer.
Yeah.
So If you want to see it from a bit of a different perspective, because as we said, that documentary very one-sided. Not to say there wasn't some shenanigans going on with those cops. I mean, some bullshit went down, no question.
There was a story today that I read about Len
Kaminsky. God, the smile. He'd always be smiling. He loved the camera
with his floods on and his duck walk.
What a dork.
Hey, I'm going to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
I get to play lawyer today. Oh, what a douche. He came off almost worse than anybody in that. He was
right,
Brendan's attorney.
You're right. He's arguably the biggest villain out of that whole thing.
Yeah. Well, he's got leukemia.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that one.
Yeah. He's getting people are writing him by the boatload going, I hope you die of cancer. They fucking hate the guy. He's like, this dude's just sitting at home being a douche, being a career douche. And
he probably deserves to be disbarred. No joke.
Yeah. You've said that from the beginning.
Yeah. That was really, really, really bad.
He talked to one media outlet, I can't remember who, but and he was saying, well, what people don't know is when I got that case, I was staring at a 4.5-hour confession from this kid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
playing with the cards that are dealt. Like you're not going to look at the guy and go get him out of this. And there's no shame, as Dave Helm said in that other case. Hey, I'd try to get a plea. No shame in trying to get the best plea you can. But dude, he was like forcing his client to plea.
Yeah.
When the kid didn't want to, and they were forcing him, and they were coercing another confession.
Yeah.
It was craziness. He employed that investigator.
He said in hindsight, maybe that investigator wasn't the best move. He didn't really know the guy.
Not sure, but maybe just kind of.
Yeah, maybe. You could say that. People are pointing to that and saying that wasn't the best move. He said, on second thought, maybe letting the police talk to my client a couple times without me being there.
Maybe wasn't the best move.
The best move. But in my defense, I was an Army Ranger Reserve, and that day I had training. So I just let the cops handle it. Let the investigators handle my client while I was off playing Ranger.
Oh boy.
Oh, dude.
Oh, Len.
Yeah, poor
Len.
So stop sending him death wishes. That's not cool.
That's not cool. But if you want to see another side of it and an argument for the other side, I guess watching some Nancy Grace. She's, I believe, really, really strongly against.
No shock there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is a bitch.
Jeff writes in, Dear King, 2 tons of fun and tart.
Damn it.
I need to get something off my chest, damn it. I normally watch your show on the tube. I noticed that Dirt Ass E is without a doubt a slob. Not only does he not shower daily, he has dark, soulless eyes, enjoys the penis, prefers hogging, doesn't clean his area,
but
lost his phone in some dude's ass, but he can't even pick up the trash in the studio.
Yeah.
Anyone watching this can see that pile behind Big E. May I make a small request, and for all the people who live in normal society, can you please have Screech clean the mess up? I will be willing to donate a brand new Dyson vacuum to show my appreciation.
Oh,
I believe Big
like
E's
that.
official slogan should be, she's not a lady unless she's 280. Till next time, bye, BUI. Thanks, Jeff.
So Jeff's donating us a Dyson?
Sounds like it.
I'm not.
Like that.
No,
hold Jeff
he's
to that.
not, because I'm not cleaning that up so you can get a vacuum.
Well, it sounds like the vacuum's coming regardless.
Okay,
So
then fine.
It did say, to me, it sounded like it had to be cleaned up first, and
Then-
to show appreciation, he'll send a Dyson.
That's what it sounded like to me.
That's what I
Oh.
heard.
all right, well, I guess we don't get a Dyson. Those are only like $500 each. So thanks.
I guess E
Thanks for
cleans
that.
up, and you get a Dyson.
Thanks for that, E. Appreciate that. Thought we were homies, but whatever.
I don't see how you getting a vacuum benefits me in any way.
Yeah, it benefits the team.
Different Jay writes in. We've had a few J's today. Hello, I just finished listening to episode 500. Congrats to you all. I just want to thank you for making my mornings more tolerable. My kids have picked up certain bits of the show, as I will sometimes listen while on the computer. And,
How old are his sons?
And my son will yell from his room,
You're not a hot
as that line blares from my podcast, which I thought was low enough to not be heard by said underage son. I think, well, I'm sure I have exceeded my freeze worth and hope to make up for that in 2016. Oh, and Jay, slow cooker bags rule. That one's on me. I know the slow cooker bag. I'm familiar with it. That's a great call. So for the
for the dog issue you had?
Yes, instead of having the fat build up in the crock pot and then having to deal with that, you just put one of those bags in it. Yeah. Good point. Thank you for the
You
reminder.
can do that and cook it all day with a bag in it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Thanks to all Jay. Thank you, sir.
Good stuff to
We'll
know.
save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
All right. Let's see that. We got one more show for the week, right?
Yes, we do, sir.
All right.
Amazon link. Before we go, don't forget, please use it. DetroitCast.com. You'll see a link there. Just shop as you normally do, and we get a kickback. I know we haven't kind of hit that as hard as we were hitting it, but it's still certainly a great way to donate.
Yeah.
And as is the donate button.
And follow us on Twitter. We've been spending a little more time on Twitter.
Very good point, sir.
The thing we like about Twitter is the fact that it goes to anybody that follows us, unlike Facebook. If you're not active on Facebook,
we pretty much live tweeted the auto show yesterday.
We did. We had some pictures.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not crazy about Twitter, and I there are things I like about Facebook, but Facebook only reaches a small percentage of people that follow you. So it's kind of disturbing. It wasn't meant for a media outlet to use. It's more for personal people to use. So it's kind of a catch-22. But Big E Detroit Cast is on Twitter.
At J Detroit Cast.
And at Walters Radio.
Yep.
And the Detroit Cast.
At the Detroit Cast.
Yep. So you can find us all on there, and we'll do more periscoping on all that stuff.
Message board as well. You'll find it under Interact, the Interact tab on the website. So check that out too.
Mm-hmm. And with that, we'll call it a day. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all-new episode.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch